Yeah, come both should be running.
Cool. All right, first of all, we'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Hakadash. Double honors unto the elders, the apostles, the EMS. Someone back there to the Arkham out there, teaching his word necessary, man. Right, so yeah, back again. All right, we're back again. Right. I just wanted to start off with the insanity that is Trump. And everything that he's doing right now and everything that he's talking is absolutely crazy. Babble talk. Right? Because he is the king of Babylon. Right? So he's going to talk about shit. Right? So, but like, nothing is coherent. And that's not a good sign for what's supposed to be a strong nation. No one's really agreeing on what the truth is because no one knows what the fucking truth is. Man, I'm questioning the United States president, who's meant to be the paragon of truth and justice, with supposedly a terrorist organization. Right? Because the stories are contradicting. But no one can believe what Trump says because he's so fucking outrageous. Right? Because the real truth is nothing's going according to plan. Nothing is going according to plan as Trump would have you, or what he wanted, or what you think. Right? And then that's evident. Whether you want to believe the Iranians or what they're saying or whatever, is evident. Because if it was true, he'd be out of there by now. The Strait of Hormuz would be open, and because they're obliterated, right? They're obliterated. They can't fight, but they're fighting. So, that don't make no fucking sense. And back at home in America, man, are shut down. Man, are going through shutdowns right now, man, and people are not getting paid. But you're going to war over what?
You asked for 200 billion.
Yeah,
for the war effort, but you can't help your.
just add it to my tab. You know what I mean? That's what you man are like, but you won't add it to your tab when it comes to your peoples. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to convince these Americans that Trump's he's doing everything for you to make your lives better. But you're doing everything opposite to that. Like America's falling apart, man. It really is.
Oh, is that Worms cover thee?
Yeah, but Trump has got to put on that persona, that bravado, like everything's going great. America's the greatest ever been. I'm the greatest president that's ever been. All this is going through his mind. He's got a whole fucking, he sits at these meetings just for people to kiss his ass, man. So he can feel good about himself. So America's through, man. If you got to be doing all of that.
This is Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
No, we're stronger than we've ever been. Yeah. Bro, you don't look like it. I'm saying this now.
It says, how for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed.
The only way they're covering up with shit is by Trump's mouth. By talking lies, talking shit. Because there's no way you can cover it up. Sure. We don't live in America. The elders and apostles, they'll tell you. They're there. Right? From what we do see in America, because obviously we get an image of America like everything's all cool. But but the Skid Rows exist in the world and all these different types of things. Crack it, man's on the fentanyl and shit. Like,
yeah, no, because I always remember when the apostles way back when were doing the was it In Transit, GMS In Transit?
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd ever seen America.
Yeah.
Like I was like, whoa.
Real, the daily life.
There was one when it was like a bug out, just doing like yoga or something outside the side of a window. I think it was like hacks or something. One of them.
Yeah.
It's like you did the bug out just out there, just like doing with top off doing whatever.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's a few men like that over here, but it's not like that.
You man.
Like that.
They got whole towns.
Yeah.
It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed.
So how has anything that you've done brought America back into prominence? Not any president's done that. Not even the great Obama.
Easy.
And he was the greatest talker, blood.
Yeah, man, he was the best president.
He was the coolest, he was all of that.
Yeah, man, he was a skit. Like,
But what did he do? How did he put America, establish America better than it's ever been? Because they all run on the same campaign that we're going to make America great, better than it's ever been. Where is that all of that? Yeah. So none of that's worked. All this talking is never worked because it's just lies, right? Because the elites are fleecing America. America's the cash cow, and they're just fleecing it, man, until they run it in the ground.
Yeah. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heavens and is lifted up unto the skies.
Dream's over, man. Judgment's about to happen.
Yeah.
Right? And everything that's happening in America, just like what happened to Egypt, all the plagues that came along, and we mess up that place, messed it up. It's happening to America right now. And then you might not want to connect these things to like biblical judgments, but that's what's happening. That's why America, the people are just through. All the conflict between people. The infrastructure getting degraded. People's morals getting degraded. That's all part of the plague and pestilence, man. Whether you want to acknowledge that or not, but this is why America is not strong. Because it's weak even from within. A house divided against itself cannot stand. It's been weakened. And the Lord's done that. Yep.
Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.
Right? And so you can say that's true for all places around the world. Everywhere suffering. All these nations are getting weaker. Right? Britain's a joke. Britain's weak as fucking hell, blood. But then so is the rest of Europe. So is everywhere else. And we're meant to be like a well-to-do nation, first world nation. So if we're suffering, what's it like for the rest of these nations, man? It's even worse, right? So everywhere it's languishing. There's no exception to that, really.
The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
We've got poor rulership, beginning with America and these presidents, Trump especially. Right, we have poor rulership in the earth because, we have all these councils, UN councils, United Nations, right? Because we're all meant to be together, looking after the planet and deciding what's right, international law and that kind of shit. But who's abiding by it? Who's enforcing it? Because America gets to do what it wants to do. Because America's really the head of the world. No one can say, they can say, Trump's doing this wrong. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. So these laws that they make, they sit down together and discuss, don't mean nothing to America. So the world is just falling apart because we've got a power that's abusing their own power. They don't stand by any agreements that they make. They have an agenda. The elites have the agenda, and they're using America to do it, and Israel, to bring about the end.
Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate.
It's a curse. Curse from who? The Heavenly Father. It's a curse that's destroying this place because there's nothing but wickedness in this place. If the world was righteous, everything would be cool. But we know the earth is not being run like that. That's why the plague's got to come.
The chosen are meant to be in their land right now. But then, that's the centerpiece of global war right now.
The in power showing the world the way.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the
Shining
prophecies.
example.
Yeah, that's what the prophecies state, right? They said they're giving herpes to little babies. What the fuck? That was it on that?
I'll finish, but it says, and they that dwell therein are desolate, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
Yeah, they're getting burned right now, man. Right, and that war's coming, man. These men are gonna get cooked, right? Because they're gonna be needing all kinds of men to go there. Iran talking about they got 1 million men to go fight, right? And the US is gonna put up 10,000. Like, how's that gonna look?
And once again, if I could say, so when you look at why people join the American military, it's for the perks. It's not because they're hardened. And exactly, yeah. And they've been told a lot of propaganda, right? So when they're coming out and saying, "Oh, Russia's weak," right? They can't even beat Ukraine. What that's putting in the American mind psyche, if you will, is, we have no, if Russia's your biggest threat and Russia's struggling against a weak enemy, you're thinking no one can touch us. I'll join, because that's why you get a whole, when it was we're now gonna go war with Iran, you had a whole load of people basically being like, look, they're like, whoa, this is what I signed up for. We signed up to fight countries with no military, no
defense systems, bomb them. Because that's what America's been doing all these years, just bombing people, man. Throw some free troops on the ground and get blown up by IEDs and shit. But it's like, realistically, America's strength is in the air. Right, that's why I say it's Prince of Power in the air. Right, they win battles through the airstrikes most of the time because most nations just can't cope with that. But Iran's obviously a bit more resilient than what they used to. So now they've got to put troops on the ground, but it's not in their favor. And that's why, just like how they were asking, Britain and them man to send your ships down to clear the way for the Hormuz, they're gonna be asking the world to come fight. So they're gonna be drafted in their own country. Britain's gonna be drafted because Russia's gonna be playing. They're gonna be acting up because obviously there's blood in the water. You know what I'm saying? So all these nations are gonna be calling up man to go fight in that war just so the Most High can cook them. That's what the scripture saying. Is it Joel chapter 3? right? The man going to be brought down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, Lord's judgment, right, to get cooked, right? So we're just waiting, man. You know, we ain't going to be down there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's not our place. You know, it's you fools. You know? Yes. You had more? What would you read? Go.
This is Sirach 10, verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people.
Yeah, and Trump is just an asshole. It's stupid as hell. But we know it's just a game. It's not that. I mean, Trump generally doesn't seem all that smart anyway. But you know, we know it's the elites. They're behind. You know, pulling the strings, telling him what he's got to do. Right. So yeah, it seems stupid because like America's just looking stupid.
Yeah.
Nothing that they're doing makes any coherent sense. But you're made to think that they know what they're doing.
So the only sense being made is the end of this man's kingdom. There's this what do you call it? You know when what's that guy? Marvel, the one with the Doctor Strange. It's like yeah, it's like
It's like you've never seen America act like this before, or be this stupid. No president's ever been this way, and Trump's that's a positive for Trump. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, no president would have done this. Yeah, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. It's dumb.
Funny as well, because when George W. Bush was in power, that's how they kind of talked about him in the media. They said, "Oh, he's simple."
Yeah.
They'll say like, "Oh, I have clips of him just like stuttering on the mic and whatnot." But then it's like in retrospect, when you look at like compare what Trump's done to his like gaffes, it's not like to anyone. It's not even comparable. Like Trump is a whole different level of just incompetence, and it's really just the entire reputation of America is done. Well, I've never seen so many Americans in the UK before in my life. These men have left. These men have been scared. I'm like, everywhere I go, just American accents everywhere. I'm like, man, I'm trying to stay here. Go home, bro. You're gonna be drafted. They're gonna need you.
What depends your country?
That's it. Did you see the one with the Sharpies, man? No, so basically, it's like he's in the middle of a deep like war conversation. He starts bringing up, and you know, Sharpies. You know, he starts basically talking about pens in the middle of a. It's like, bro, you're at war. You're about to send sons and daughters to die. Like, yeah.
Raise up.
Saw one of them just like started moving to the thing that was interviewing him.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, remember when you went to dinner? I was like, bro, what? I was like, yo, this guy's
Trump on
insane.
the belt.
Yeah.
What was that?
I was
What
like,
you
this
doing,
guy's insane.
Man's
bro.
making moves on pump.
Live on air. That's what we doing, bro.
Yeah, America's like Trump's off the block. You know, Biden was bad because you know he's fine. But Trump's actually gone insane. He's actually gone insane. You know. All right, sir. You go both.
An unwise king destroyeth his people. The prudence of them which are in the authority in the city shall be happy.
So you know we're waiting for that righteous rulership, man, where the world can be put on the proper path.
The scripture speaks about wherein dwelleth righteousness, but then also in Second Ezra speaks about truth shall flourish. You know, for like a good week, we was like, yo, you know, BB's gone. You know,
That's why I heard nothing about that, bro. I haven't seen him. I ain't seen the 6 finger. I ain't seen any of that yet. But like, you know, it's never come. Honest. He ain't survived.
so
Inshallah. He might actually, he
Yeah,
might
but
be in a
then-
bunker somewhere.
exactly.
And you might have to pick him up later.
exactly. Wait, exactly. The gods is
I'll have to punch that devil in the face, bro. But
Yeah,
It's not like
bro.
he's a particularly
yeah,
legendary piece of shit. man.
exactly.
Yeah, he's the devil, man. Hey, he's like the one day Adolf Hitler.
He's like bigging up what they were doing as well. I swear there's a quote of him I watched where he was saying like, "Oh yeah, you know what they did in Germany. You know, makes." I was like, this is insane. I was like, how? Like, man, had just flipped it like that.
The only difference between him and Adolf is like my man was shouting in the mic. Adolf was shouting in the mic. He's coked up. He's coked up. You know, he comes a bit more professional, but you can tell he's got murder on the mind.
He's got
Murder on the mind.
He's exterminated.
Septo in the mind.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place.
Yeah, bro.
I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
So we live in a world where we can worship. And that's why the world ain't right, man. That's why everyone's suffering. You know what I'm saying? That we have to wait for Yahweh Shai to make things right. Because there shouldn't be wars on the earth. You know? What's this war about? Oh, because man can't have uranium. What? If they got uranium, they got fucking uranium, blood. It's on their land, bro. What do you have to say anything? It's theirs. I'm saying.
Their own possession.
Yeah. You can't have that. But it's ours. What do you mean? Oh, you can't have a nuclear weapon. You don't want a nuclear weapon.
But if I can say that they, because the Ayatollah, and that's the thing in them countries, they actually about, yeah, they're actually about their belief. Oh, smart there. They're actually about their beliefs, and the Ayatollah was like, "Bro, we're not having a nuclear weapon." So that was the end of the conversation for their beliefs, and then they killed the one man, and you've left in place the guy that's lost his dad, his son. Did he lose his wife as well? His wife, you know, and now he's in power. It's like, have you never watched Taken? Like, what's it?
I mean, like,
That's an actual Marvel villain. He's like, that's a villain.
man's gonna search out the Infinity Stones. All kinds of shit.
Crying tears of blood when he snaps his finger.
Just
bad dudes that are ready to die. Yeah, just
on home turf. On home turf.
Today we die. That's it.
In the mountains.
In the mountains,
Mhm.
bro. Like
Bro.
with full
Wow.
faith, like because you know, confidence and faith has a big part of warfare. Remember,
Mhm.
according to the law, if you're shook, you can't even go to it. You know what I mean? And the mighty men of Babylon have refused to fight.
Mhm.
Here it is. There's Babylon ships stuffing their damn clothes in the toilets. Yeah, to get out of fighting. But then you got a couple million dudes who are ready to die today. That's their belief, man.
And you know, it could be that these 10,000 Egyptians were sacrificed, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because that'll bring up the world. Like, oh my God, they killed 10,000 men. Oh, we've got to do something about this.
Yeah.
Just that, because it's easy to sacrifice pawns. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
That's what they can use for, right? So it wouldn't surprise me. They just sent them there to die.
Psalm 49:11. The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not, is like the beasts that perish. But this devil basically is used to, he's got, especially off the Trump off the back of Venezuela, the level of pomp Esau has is devil, all right? He just thinks he can, we dealt with Maduro so easily, we can just swoop in on Iran and just take over the land. And that's no plan. And that's that.
No exit strategy.
Yeah. And that's the, you've been doing it for so long. You've carved out so many places after your own names. In your mind, it's like, who can stop me? All right? But you don't know that there's a time limit on that. The Heavenly Father set the bounds that he cannot pass. All right? You go to Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter, it tells you that there's a time and season for everything under the earth.
This is like the last grave mistake. The Lord has set you up, man. The Lord set a snare against you, man. It was it Babylon, thou art caught, and thou was not aware. Right? The Most High made you make this decision to end your rule.
Surely a snare is laid in vain.
That's
You
right.
know, it tells you that in Ecclesiastes. You can see a snare and, you probably buy it.
Yeah.
No one ain't going to fall for that. But there's a fool that's going to fall for it. All right? And Esau is that fool. He got told. Trump told by the advisor he put in place, the general, told him it wouldn't be a wise idea. And even before, he kind of colored these words a bit different now because they're in the middle of war. You don't want to discourage them
Can't contradict
from
what Trump
fighting.
said.
Do you know what I mean? You got to keep the morale high. But before that, he was saying like it isn't a wise idea. Why did all these other people go into Iran? Why?
No, go on when you're done.
Go on.
Ecclesiastes 9:11, just on what you were saying before. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
And we know that the Lord is putting out your time and chance, but your time is up. Like your end is here. All this American might that you projected around the world, man, is coming to an end. The Most High gonna smash you up, man, crumple you, man. You look like a real idiot.
They're in slippery places. Psalm says it, you know, even though it looks like they're prospering, they're on the path of their own destruction.
Precept. Psalms chapter 75, verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High Yahweh is the judge.
See, Esau, you know, especially America, they can control who gets promoted. Because obviously they put themselves in that position. The house shall continue forever, right? So they think they can control and keep their position. It's not up to them. Most High decide who goes up, who goes down. It's always been that way. That's why there's never been an empire that's lasted forever. America's no different. In fact, it's worse. You know what I'm saying? So America worships every idol that's ever existed. You know, these men only have like 360 of them. You know what I'm saying? Esau literally worships all of them. Right? So America's worse than any nation that came before. You know? And then the Most High always set their time limit. You know? And there's always like not say a logical order, but like a set of events that took place that ended in your downfall. And America's living that out. Same thing happened to Rome and all these different things. They went too far because they're hubris, man, because they're pride. Yeah. Which we're meant to be celebrating soon.
Yeah.
The peak, though, isn't it?
With the L. No victory parade.
That's right.
No one's.
It says, let me start from verse 7 again. It says, but the Most High Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
It's not, right? Because it's going to be us, bro. It ain't got no military. You know, it ain't going to be who you think it's going to be. You're thinking, oh, America would there, maybe China. Maybe Russia come and take over.
Professor Jang.
Right?
Good.
It's gonna be who you expect to least because there's Houston. Put a bet on it, man. It's like we've got the lowest odds.
We're not even on the ticket.
That's beautiful, though, isn't it?
That's it.
We're gonna have to pencil them in at the bottom.
That's why it's laws to make the poor man rich, right? The rich man poor. The law's gonna bring us up from the dirt. That's where we are.
Sneak in real quick. This is Sirach 11 and 5. It says, many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown.
Like I said, pursuant to Songs of Solomon 5 and 1, you man look down upon us. Right? And when we get, when the Lord comes, the angels deliver us, man, you're gonna be like, shit, how the fuck is these dudes on the chariot? That's right. Lord chose them.
Yeah, these guys.
They're just violent animals, you know what I mean? Like, they're low IQ. All they can do is dance. You know what I mean? Punk balls or whatever.
You know how they always say like they steal a lot of ideas and stories and films from like the scriptures. Like whenever that kind of topic comes up, I think of Kung Fu Panda. Like you remember when in the first one he's like the panda, the panda. It's like you're the dragon warrior.
You see? This is Daniel 7:18, and it says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Right? And it's not like we're gonna have a battle in the sense that we're gonna be evenly matched and we're just gonna win. It ain't gonna be that, man. You're gonna be crippled by the time you start fighting you anyway, because you're gonna lose most of your military in the Middle East anyway.
Oh yeah,
in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Yeah, because you thought it was a smart idea to go do that, but you're gonna lose a lot of men there. Right, and the armies that are left around the world, they're the ones that are gonna be left over to fight the Lord and the angels when they come. But it's not gonna be a fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a flawless victory.
Flawless victory, man. But these men and these men are gonna turn out to fight. Lord know that, but they're gonna be fucking shitting themselves. But they know what they're up against, bro. It's not natural. It's not normal, bro. And they're just not capable of dealing with that. So we're just gonna take the kingdom. We're not gonna struggle for it. We're just gonna take it.
just to land back off the saints, right? This is proving who the saints are. This is Psalms 148, verse 14. In fact, let me start from 13. Let them praise the name of the Lord, Yahweh, or Hashem Yahushai. For his name alone is excellent. His glory is above the earth and the heaven.
What if you don't have the name?
Mm.
Some Israelites out there be very fucking sorry, man. They're not taking this seriously, man.
It says he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the sons of Israel. And people there unto him praise you the Lord Yahweh. Hashem Yahushai.
That's what the Most High is all about, man. His people, his children. And the UN came out recently and approved, to say that the transatlantic slave trade was the first crime in history, right? But it's not only the greatest crime in humanity, the greatest crime against the Most High. What you've done to his people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And you don't think the Most High going to repay you for that?
This is Daniel 9:12. And he had confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
That's right. So like, the Lord put us in this predicament, because of our transgressions, right? But Esau, what he did was beyond all kind of reason.
Yeah.
Because he got hatred in his heart. Because he's got that perpetual hatred, right?
And the thing is, what they always try and say, well, slavery existed in every culture. Yes, it has.
In the same way.
But chattel transatlantic slavery was an unprecedented system. Because even like Rome.
This modern slavery sounds worse than what people need. They worked to the bone in Egypt, no doubt. But what you do, you're just working. Useless, man. You think the Most High don't care about his children or what they've been through? He else to be with the Lord now. You're fucking fine.
I've got a precept. Zechariah 2:8. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, after the glory have he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
That's the point. Right? We are the apple of the Most High's eye. He hasn't all of a sudden not cared about us. He's always stated that he cares. That's why he's going to avenge us for what the nations have done. Right? And Esau is the head of those, man. Head of those enemy list. Psalms 83, I think it is, right? They're the head of that fucking enemy list. Right? That made a tumult against us, right? Yeah. Right? Because what he did was crazy. He didn't need to do all of that. But he loved every second of it. Right? So when you're in our hands now, we're gonna love every second too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna post.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking post. We're gonna laugh at the score, man.
Hosea 1:10 says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Right? Because we're scattered, right? And so it's hard to keep track of all the Jake around the world because there's so many, but like, because we kindled with the other nations, we go kind of look at different, speaking different. It's hard to kind of tell, right? But as a people, we're the largest people on the planet because we're like the sand. You know what I'm saying? And we're only gonna know in the last days when we get beamed up and that who's who, like and obviously a lot of people are gonna die, but the elect are gonna be delivered, and we're gonna bring back the nation of Israel for our seed.
Cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Right, so we know the Lord hasn't abandoned us. Because you want us to believe that Lord abandoned us, man. That's just not the truth. That he's picked somebody else. That's not the truth, man. He's just looking for his righteous. That's it. That's what's happening. So that's what he's looking for. That's what it is, right? In the appointed time, right? That's why all those prophets are here, man. Because we're waiting for that appointed time, man. We're waiting to see if we're worthy to be delivered. Lord's not looking for everybody. Otherwise, it'd be easy. It wouldn't take time to pick everybody up, didn't it? But no, he's looking for his elect, right? So the appointed time, brother comes in at different times, or whatever. There's more brothers to come in. Last hour is like all that to happen, right? But that's what the Lord wants,
And there's a process as well. You got to go through the baptism of Yahushua, right? You had the baptism of John the Baptist, by war, but this time it's by the furnace of affliction. So you ain't just okay, you can just pop up, I'm part of the elect. No. And
It's not something that we choose either.
Yeah.
Battle test.
There you go.
Step on that. This is Acts 14:22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
So even the tribulation goes through part of the work. The fact that you have to endure it, man, and don't give up in the face of affliction. The Lord, like I said, the Most High, it pleased the Lord to afflict His Son. It's the same with us. It pleased the Lord to see us go through stuff and to deserve our spot. He knows we decided what that is. It pleased Him that we endure it and battle it. You know?
Yeah.
Lord already knows the outcome already.
Yeah.
Puts you through things and you're thinking, oh, I'll deal with it. Lord made you.
Yeah.
He knows enough to do that. So he knows what to do.
Yep.
That's why I told you, you're not going to put that on you so much.
Yeah.
Certain people hear your story. It's life changing. It is life changing in most cases, but there's no prayer on you because you know you can deal with the pressure. You just got to commit. You just got to
Precept.
free your mind.
This is Matthew chapter 3 and verse 11. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Ghost and with fire.
Yeah, man, it's a person. You know? Obviously, we give you the Holy Spirit to understand the truth and everything, but we have to go through adversity. Say, through much tribulation, we shall enter into the kingdom.
One, like that example there, John, just to add to your point, like, he went through hell. He got beheaded and killed a number of things in his past life. He got lifted up, translated. He came as John the Baptist. He went hell, man. He's been out there in the wilderness.
I mean, he just he's doing that part. He's out there.
Wild locusts,
You know?
like a madman, living like a barbarian, basically. And he fought hell to the point where even though he saw you how it shy, he still got persecution. Yeah. But he said his shoes are not even worthy. Still, what he went through is still not even on the level. He was basically saying that's light compared to what Yahweh Shai has to go through now.
Yep.
So that shows you there's levels of hell that you have to go through as well. Like you have to still endure.
Even the scripture says it's a light affliction.
You know, when people were saying, "Oh Lord, I don't want you to drink that cup."
Yeah.
The Lord said, "Like to curse him out."
Yeah.
That's the
And he said, "Oh, don't worry, Pete. You won't drink that cup.
Yeah.
You buy that cup. You won't drink that cup."
Yeah.
And when you drink that cup, then you find out, oh, you know what Yahweh Shai was talking about.
Yeah. And that's the thing, when you come into truth, there's a realization of it.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're told these things, because nothing's happened to you, you haven't experienced nothing, you're like, okay, cool, innit?
Yeah.
Right, but when the Lord does put it on you now, it's like, oh shit, man, this is what the scripture's really talking about. You know, because you've got to live the scriptures, we've got to just read it and learn
That's
it.
why the word, we go through the tribulation, but the comfort is the word.
Yeah.
Because you can go to the things that I read the 4th time, I read for learning.
Other men have
So
gone through before us.
There you go. You have a reference point. You can read it. The whole book of Job. Job's name is Iowa, which means affliction. You have a story of a man with great wealth that just got smoked down by the Heavenly Father, just to prove the point that he is worthy to be that man, and he can go through that affliction. And that really showed you Noman as well. Went through all of that, and then he came out in the end. He saw his children onto the 3rd and 4th generation, and his riches were multiplied by 10, I believe it was. 100-fold. Okay. So basically, all that he went through was a sign, like that's something you've written before. You read it now, you can say, okay, that's light work compared to what I'm dealing with now. I mean, sorry, what I'm dealing with now is light work compared to what his wife got. Was
Stuff a great
calling him.
boss.
Yeah.
Stuff a great boss. You know? And I suppose the difference between Job's story and Yahweh Shai's story, because Yahweh Shai had to show the same thing. Because he had the power to do it. He wanted to be it.
Yeah.
But he came to obey the will of his father. So he had to show great restraint because he didn't have to go through that. If he wanted to not do it, he could have done that. But he knows he was under the orders of the Heavenly Father, man, the same as we all are. So we know we're all here to show the different types of characteristics, the restraint and endurance to go through suffering. Because Yahweh Shai suffered, man. Like on a personal level. Job, like he got sores in the body and stuff. But Yahweh Shai was beaten like pretty much to death. Yeah. and then was hung on a cross, on a cross.
Hebrews 12 and 1 and 2 says, Yahweh Shai, the example, the heading. It says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beget us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at his right hand side and right hand throne of the Most High.
And that's what this upcoming Passover is all about, man. Now we're trying to sacrifice, right? Because otherwise, without that, you wouldn't be here. You know, we wouldn't be here, man, doing this and having the chance of salvation. You know, show the saints. That was the apostles. They made us aware that this is not going to be an easy thing. You know, it sounds cool when you first hear it. Yeah, you know, kingdom is like that power, women, put it inside the things. Yeah, that all sounds good, but like you still got to get there. And life isn't fucking great, man. It's just hard.
That's why it speaks of it. Second Ezra 7.
I was about to get it.
Okay,
No.
Yeah.
Second Ezra 7 chapter. Yeah. Fire on one side and
Yep.
deep waters on the other.
But some of these guys treat it like a game, man. Like it's all just an Israelite party like 24/7, man. Without really understanding the pain and suffering you have to go through. You know, to enter into the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's just Second Ezra 7 and 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were on the fire a right hand and on the left hand a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that they could but one man go there at once. If the city now were given,
Yeah. So Matthew 7 chapter talks about the straight gate, man. The word straight meaning a position of difficulty. And only one man can tread it at a time. It's not an easy walk. To be part of the chosen, it's not an easy walk, man.
And it's a personal journey.
Personal journey, yeah.
You know, brothers know and understand the same things, but like peace, you and the Lord. And the Lord's one guiding you across that straight. Because you can't hold the other brother's hand hoping that his words is going to help you. Everything's got about you. It's got to be about your words. What did you do?
Yeah, for your own salvation.
That's right.
That's right. Like you said, you've got to be battle tested, man. And to be part of the chosen, man, it's not a light thing. That means the Lord chose you for a specific task, and only you can fulfill that task. No whole number of souls, 144,000 men, are those chosen seed, the chosen line of righteous men, integral souls. Not anyone that can put on a garment, talk about Hebrew Israelite, is a man of the Lord, man. You've got a lot of guys that come in this truth. They treat this thing like it's a fashion show. It's something to make merchandise.
Side hustle, yeah.
Side hustle, or it's a trend, you know. And then they're adding and taking away from the scriptures, not knowing that they're, butchering the scriptures and perverting the gospel, man. You know, there's a lot of prophets, but there's false prophets too. Not every guy that says he's a prophet is a prophet. The Lord, he got prophets of Baal, like Elijah had his prophets of Baal, they had the prophets of Baal, all that. So there's different type of levels of prophets.
That's what it tells us about testing them in the spirit, man. See if they be of the Lord or not. Yeah. What are they teaching?
Yeah. Are they coming in the name?
That's right.
so Spirit, because the elder apostle Ramlov's in the video on that right now. About false prophets and false doctrines.
But I said this before.
Listen to me, moron.
That's going to be like the main sign to show you, main divider, like the brother said, who's really the teaching the truth and teaching lies, man. It's coming, man. We can't avoid it. Just like you can't avoid World War III. It's coming, man. The mark of the beast is
not something you can avoid because it's going to change everyone's lives. Day to day, as you're working, everything you do in society, it's going to be, surrounded around this mark of the beast system, man.
Yeah, you know what? It reminds me of when the Lord spoke about that many lepers were there in the time of Elias, but yeah, one was chosen, and said many widows were there in the time of Elijah as well, but yet one widow was chosen of Zidon as well. Weren't even within the land. It was in the land of the Philistines. All right. So basically, this time that we're heading into is going to be few and far between the men of salvation, man. They ain't gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna be. Oh, like everyone's gonna be okay. You know, everyone don't realize right now what's going on with Iran. It's like it's a foreshadowing of what's to come. People would just, it's entertaining. Yeah, man. Yo, I'll give you the president's addresses. This avenue in DC. Yeah, bomb him. But you don't know that you're implicated, right? World War III is gonna take. It's gonna be all encompassing. You're gonna be drafted by a draft dodger, right? You're gonna be in the thick of it. This is something that the Heavenly Father.
Everything crashing down, it's what's going to issue. It's not even just that boy you got to worry about. It's what's going to be going inside America too.
You got oil prices right now. That's gonna have there's all different types of things. If you pay attention to what's all the moving parts, you can see this is just a house of cards falling down.
They said they might run out of medicine soon if it don't stop soon.
Coming in like that. Yeah. Esau's doing is a planned demolition with elites. This is basically working towards their goal of attempting their new world order because they need the people to starve out and they have to ration out things. You got the grid lockdowns now going on. So then this is like the perfect ruse catalyst to bring final capstone on the pyramid.
What we gotta remember as well is that things getting spiritual. Esau, like Trump being elected, you had the even spoke about Trump being elected, and they were like, "Oh, we don't know why he got him," and then they figured out later on down the line that he's the guy for the job. So he's a failsafe. So they're walking blind in the sense they're walking in accordance with Satan. So
the demons are failing them.
There you go. But they did it. Remember when they did this attack? It was based on with Venezuela, based on a
2 days
blood moon. Yeah. So they're moving according to the spirit. So they thought they were gonna, they just thought, yeah, we'll take Iran. But now it's working a different way. But it's gonna bring about that NWO, all right? But it's not kind of according to their plan.
At the end of this whole ordeal, they're gonna come rising out of the fire like a phoenix. But it's gonna backfire. And then those nuclear missiles that they pour those buttons weren't gonna be pressed. Russia's gonna push that button.
Yeah.
And they're trying to avoid pushing them ICBM missiles, get them involved, thinking that they're just for show, just to, scare tactics.
Yeah.
But they're actually going to push them buttons, man. And that's what Esau doesn't understand.
This is Second Ezra, chapter 15, and I'm going to start from verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another."
Like that. You think it's gonna be like normal like this? Bro, it's gonna be like a fucking purge. People around, you don't want to be outside. You don't want to safe inside either. You know what I mean? You're just bugging out. You ain't gonna have the power anyway, so that's gonna be off anyway.
Even with America right now, they've got eyes to the airport. But it's like Joe Biden or something, one of these people, and they said, "Yeah, I came through the airport that coming from Africa or no, it's based on thingy on it is what it is." Yeah, he said like, "Yeah, I'm getting used to coming through the airport. It's like Africa, Colombia." You got all the guards and the door. Like, yeah, it's militant.
It reminds me of the episode Nosedive in Black Mirror. He wanted to board the plane, and they had the social critic.
Oh yeah,
Implemented, and they had the troop with a gun. And he was like, calm down, man. She was about to lose her rank because the social credit score it hit, so she couldn't board the plane. You know, so it's that social scoring credit system. They're trying to implement that, and the chip's gonna solidify.
Well, they said they're going cashless
Yeah.
in 2027. So they're really they're compounding on everything. They introducing it bit by bit. People don't realize what's happening.
The war's the cover.
There you go.
Because while they're all fighting each other, man, Elon Musk is making the X app, everything app. You know what I mean? All the payments stuff, all the crypto stuff's going
Oh,
on.
they already took out the penny as well. Penny, like they stopped making pennies in the US. Then people saying, "Oh, they gonna work out, change their prices, so that you don't have to give pennies anymore." And that's just like people think, "Oh, you can do about a penny," but then it's like then they'll be like, "Oh, well, why have 5 cents? Why have 10 cents?" Then it's like, why even just still with
Because they admit now that it costs more to print the money than that's spending the value of it. So what's the point? It's just costing it for no reason.
It says, but there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
And Trump's already getting ready to attack the American people, man. Because he's already labeled one group terrorists or that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Antifa or whatever, man. Yeah. So he's already in his mind planning to do something about that, right? But these guys are not going to listen to you, and that's why there's going to be beef in America. Because people that believe in this fucking politics side is already beefing each other already. You know what I mean? Blaming one side for this and the other side blaming something for that. They're already at war. It just they ain't capped off yet. But that time's coming. We saw it in the movies. They're gonna be asking them the hard questions. What's up, American? The hard ones, the high IQ questions. The difficult ones, actually.
Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Comes into the whole bipartisan political parties, and the 2-party system, and that's all a setup of lies, man. It's all for the entertainment of the goyim to make you think like you have choice, make you think that you're involved in society.
Oh, here, right? But they're using the war in Iraq, which most people don't agree with. But what does it matter? Your vote don't mean shit. You can put a madman in charge. You know what I mean? And you're along for the ride,
Yeah, that's
right.
He came into power saying he's going to stop all the wars, and then he called the Department of Defense, the Department of War, and went to
man, like shit. Now he's about to give America the biggest L they've ever had.
Even this $5 government, that's why there's been a deal going back a couple of years ago. So it really shows you where we're at. Like in the fact, and then
it was with Trump, his first election. That's really where you got the big split.
Okay, because now even with that as well, the scripture said it's fake as a dragon. We're starting to see that Trumpian rulership, man, coming to play. Right, where it's
no mercy and that. Yeah, no mercy.
What did he say? He said, let every bullet find its target in the prayer. I was like, damn. Exactly.
That reminds me of fucking this American God. When they're shooting the guns in the air and all that kind of stuff. That is a rich
Vulcan.
Vulcan, yeah. Oh,
which on that painting of the Washington DC thing, the
apothecary.
Washington.
Yeah.
So
apotheosis.
Apotheosis, right? Vulcan's one of those Roman or I think he's a Roman god. Vulcan is a Roman god.
I think it sounds like Lion.
Yeah, he's advised the North thinking Greek.
Yeah. Right, so that idol actually sits in Washington, and they make all these decisions, right? Man's on the bottle, They want extra funding for the military and to develop this weapon and that weapon, just to go mash up some people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon, beast, Pentagon, Safe Circle, Roman Catholic Church. So yeah, so that's happening in my European setup. It's gonna fail. We're at the end of it now. He's
sword done, and he can do all the threatening and trash talking all he wants. Iran's ready for the war. They're built. They're like, come test.
Come
Fuck around and find out. Ain't that the news? FAFO. Fuck around and find out.
They're doing a lot of
But like, you know, that kind of feels like, you know, when like fights start happening, like you see Joshua or something. It's like, yeah, you want to see what happens. Yeah, you want to see what happens. You want to see you man go down there.
Yeah.
See if you really hang with them man down there.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about all your special forces and shit. But let's see how good you are, innit?
Yeah, he's gonna just fall back to his sword, man. Is that superior sword that he's been given. But even like, 'cause I mentioned it and I shared it in the chat. These new things they're called meta machines, right? All one word. If you look it up, where basically it's like it's an AI built robot where it's not one robot, and then a guy was showing like he broke one of the legs, and then the rest that leg, and then the other part of the robot basically just kept moving. So they're basically building unkillable machines, man.
It's that new movie that
It's
that new movie like a metal machine.
Right.
War Machine. Isn't it?
War Machine, okay.
Yeah. They didn't even know that was out there. It was out there chilling, hibernating and slow. And all of a sudden it came out the fucking cliffs and it just started laser technology, all of that. They showed you that ESO's got some
some stuff.
super stuff in them warehouses, man.
Mm.
Getting ready to be unleashed. But that's why and then these spiritual power in that day.
That's it.
Revelation 6 and 4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
So all this talk of peace always seems to have been in this book. Trump promised peace. Then comes another war.
Yeah.
These men don't do peace. They're always at war. They make so much money out of war. It's a whole fucking industry.
But these man peace prize, and then was like, dropped the most drone strikes took today.
Did Trump get one of them?
Yeah, they just gave it.
He slapped
They give it to him.
But then you got one from FIFA though.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So these devils, they can't be trusted, obviously. They talk peace, but war is always in their mind.
That's why Iran's like lately just saying there's no negotiation of talk. They're not all this peace talk that America's talking about. There's no treaties on the table.
What?
We don't want to hear that.
Yeah, twice. Twice. Yeah. And then that's the thing. The Omani foreign minister, I believe it was, came out and he put it on record. Was like, nah, I don't want to hear no cap. They gave you a better deal than you had before. That's what he said.
Yeah, they said. I think they said multiple times. They like 2 or 3 times they had a group deal.
Yeah.
Then it fell. I was like, this guy's the devil.
Never trust our enemy. Yeah, Scripture told you all this, right? Like Iran called them the great Satan anyway, so they already kind of know. You know what I mean? So they've been waiting for this day because they knew America was going to overstep at some point. Because Israel wanted.
They've been showing some heavy propaganda, man, against America.
Yeah, it's funny.
And it ain't even really propaganda. They're showing Baal. They show the missile going up in the Epstein Island there. The little girl. They got them, man. And they're really
That's untrue, bro.
yeah.
That's right.
And it's the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father is making it where your secrets are being discovered, man. Your tongue is falling upon yourself.
You know that Iranian professor, they always keep getting on the TV. He know. Bro, remember calling it the Epstein,
The Epstein class.
He's like, that's what you man are doing now. You know what I mean? That's what you're on.
It was birds of a flock. We stick together.
It's all for the paperwork, man. It's all there. And that's like you never done that.
You're fearing LBC, bro. You know that LBC.
The FC regime.
Good.
He's one on the LBC radio, yeah.
But he don't rap though. He don't like that. Don't talk about. He talks. He just talks in it.
Yeah.
He's talking. He ain't having none of that. Dissemination against Iran. But we ain't having.
Good.
Second Measures 15 and 30. Also, the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
And Persian immortals. They'll blot out the sun.
So they'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Biggest ships out there.
Yeah, and was it the Houthis as well that ambushed them?
Yeah.
They ambushed the whole, yeah. Because we were saying before camp, it's like the Houthis, they're basically going to war in their burial shrouds because they get buried in that white with writing on it, so they're going to war in that. I love, man.
This is the thing that, hey, the Western world so fucked up, yeah. That you people have forgotten. There's people out there that they stare death in the face every day. Like it's nothing. It's like, well, I'd rather die than you forget there's an old world, there's a way things used to be. Patient mentality. Where it's just like dying is just I'm gonna die anyway.
America's trying to get back home.
They are, man.
They counted the days. They're like, I got 183 more days. Yeah, that's it.
Did you see certain other? You be watching videos and the bomb will drop next to these Iranians and they won't move, they won't scatter. I was like, wow.
You remember they had public hanging still, that medieval style spirit back in the day. They still
That's why they're a regime that needs to be changed.
You got guys. You got guys killing little boys with Skittles, man. What are we talking about? Police, fucking wrestling people to the ground and choking them out.
But then obviously, that's righteous and just. The American justice system, they straightened all that out. That's why the Epstein files came out. They took so much action.
So,
It's all the fix. Like for the benefit of the elite, everything in the system works to the benefit so that the elite continue to they get what they want. So people you think 20 billion for war. Meanwhile, so how much would it cost to do like school dinners in the U? Man, have been trying to get school dinners in the U. I'm like, you man don't have school. Like, man are starving in school. Like, they can't read anyway. Like, what we doing, bro?
Americans have dumbed down the people so much that there's even fortified towards petrified. We're in the ancient, they still got that ancient mindset, man. When it comes to war, they're in the warlike mentality. They're ready for it.
But the men that are in that war mind kind of mentality, they're being disrespected right now.
Yeah.
Their man saying they don't want to go war for Israel. So there was no respect for even these guys. So why they want to fight? So all they can rely on is Gen Z, but Gen Z don't want to fight nothing. They want to play Call of Duty.
Apparently you got certain men smoking weed on purpose to make sure they fail tests.
yeah. To be discharged.
There's no. Still gonna have to go to
But they wasn't happy they're going to be there, bro. So you know, nothing to do about it. They wasn't have you out there.
I got a precept. Isaiah 13:6. How ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh both with wrath and fierce anger to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. But yeah, the day of the Lord only when America be turned into the lake of fire prophesied in the book of Revelation. That's going to be that day. In the lead up to that, all these things are going to happen. The progression to that day of the Lord is going to be manifold temptations, right? The time of Jacob's trouble, right? Which is basically when that chip rolls out. But then from there, it's off to the races, right? You can see how volatile it is at this point in time right now. When the chip is, I say it for lack of a better word, it's an afterthought right now. Everyone's on edge about, am I gonna get drafted? Are we gonna go to war?
The tensions on the
There you go.
That's where the intentions are at.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but like I mentioned earlier, they're still doing the things behind the scenes in terms of the digital system, right? They're trying to stop it. But it's just going under the radar because you're concerned about Iran doing this or America.
But when you look,
So I was gonna say, then they're getting people to talk about soil terrorists. You're talking about all but domestic thieves. That's another narrative they're pushing as well. Because even when Iran hit the Cyprus thing, they grilled Keir Starmer talking about if Iran was to shoot a missile, how are you going to deflect it? How are you going to protect UK lives? And then you have people calling in like, oh shit. You mean to tell me they can hit the house from here?
but come to find out, one of the things that they said is it didn't even come from Iran. The one that started, it didn't even come from Iran. It was a false flag.
But they got people
You
shook.
know, the Iranians, they've been hitting bases.
Yeah.
You know, the Allied
They're meant
bases.
to be defended. That's meant to be the safest place.
Or where the soldiers are hiding, in hotels or whatever. Right? Because Israel can shoot down hospitals.
Exactly.
Girls'
On the ground.
school.
They double tapped it. They double that. How much of a demon you gotta be?
Then they asked Trump, and they said they asked Trump, and they were like, yeah, it was a Tomahawk missile. Only America has those. He goes, oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that.
We still Tomahawk weapons to everybody. You know?
It could have been Iran.
But this is the thing. America talks about, you know, like they're righteous, that they do warfare fairly, right? But they break the rules. And so they expect Iran to stick to the rules. That's just dumb. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't hit any infrastructure. Man, it's hitting infrastructure though. So why ain't Iran going to retaliate the same way? They hit desalination plants and all these different types of things. You acting like they're man being unreasonable, but you started it. You run up to them and start doing craziness. So obviously they're going to repay in kind. Because you must be you've been an idiot not to fight on the same platform that you're fighting on. You know, but you gotta say, oh, they've been bad because they're hitting this and hitting that. But bro, what you do? You know? You got Israel dropping white phosphorus everywhere.
Yeah,
The Geneva Convention, they wiped their arse of it, man.
Yeah. Oh, it could have been something else though.
They had the nerve to complain about Iran using cluster munitions, and it was like, bruh. Yeah, but they've been using them in Gaza. They're not even a treaty to it. Which
And now Israel annexing
Lebanon.
They want to annex South Lebanon. I was like, what is this? What's going on here? We're living in a fucking Twilight Zone.
That was the same
Russia
thing with
do
Gaza. Because like Gaza, when Gaza happened, then they were like, oh, we need to go take somewhere. Like start war with. Started with.
But you know what it sounds like? The Great Israel Project.
Oh, bro, and that's the thing is that's what man was talking about. That's
Oh,
what
no,
like, we talking about in the US, like the Great Israel. Like, oh, you know.
Yeah. But like,
something.
Russia annexed Crimea, and that was
That's the end of the world, yeah.
Man, they're demons, bro. Go on.
Psalms 140 from the top, it says, deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. That's it.
Yeah. Continually are they gathered together for war. This is what Esau's protocol has always been. Starting with the Native American Indians. Same thing, and they treated with them both every single thing. Showing you that throughout history, it's had the same track. It's the same people. In fact, they never change, man. You can't change a leper, can't change a spot.
Esau wants what he wants,
And he's going to do it.
nothing's going to get away with it.
It's on scheme. Oh, that's his nature, right? Who is it? The days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I murder my brother Jacob.
Yeah. He's always been at that murderous, scandalous, treacherous type behavior. Even when he came to the garden with the serpent, and he came back as Cain, and Esau came back as Esau. The same spirit, man.
It's good to say there's nothing more wicked than a covetous man. Esau just did the most covetous. That's why nobody's safe.
Well, precept back up. You said about Iran going like for like with Israel, the state of Israel. Habakkuk 2:15 and 16. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and a shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Yeah, that's their history. And even before that, the verse before that, it talks about going to the like, how long, you know what I'm saying? How long, man, are these nations going to sit by and let you keep taking the piss, making excuses for why you're intruding on another people, fucking in your nose in other people's business, basically. That's what hegemony and all that. The big bad bully. And now the bully's getting bullied.
Yeah.
By small Iranians. The Armenians are tearing your ass up. The Israelis over there, they can't do with it, man. They really want to back out, but they've done too much. So Iran's just going to go all out.
What was it? They killed their leaders and
Yeah.
Ayatollah's gone.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That was the most prized person in the whole of the land. But the talk has got to stop at some point, innit?
so in it. That's basically what it is.
Everybody's
was putting pressure on Spain as well. Spain was basically saying we ain't going to send no forces down to the Middle East.
They don't have to go fight no war.
Spain.
They're King's Nation. That's why Spain's quiet.
Hey, what's that thing? Having a siesta and that.
Yeah, wine and all that, you know.
Paella. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little hard, like.
But how bad does it look though? Like Trump is asking these fucked up nations that got nothing really for them for help. But you're meant to be the mightiest, right? You say you don't need nobody.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, you
Don't
was
sound like
bullying them, saying you're gonna take Greenland off of them.
But this is the stupid thing, right? There's a reason why NATO exists in the first place, right? Because it's a threat bigger than any individual nation, right? So NATO was was there to keep keep Russia at bay, right? America stated that they don't need nobody. It's like what you can take on China or Russia, you can take on every nation by yourself. No, you can't. As mighty as America is, you can't do that.
No one could do it.
That's why you need alliances.
Yeah.
You can't be just saying fuck you. You can't be saying that because they're gonna. What we've seen it. They don't want to help.
But in what they have done, they've been saying F you. And like what basically what has happened in the movement of certain military hardware from place to place to place, the nations, they're like, wait, I thought you're protecting us. So then now they're like, yo,
Yeah. They're collateral.
yeah, but because Iran,
They were the buffer zone.
yeah, basically, because that's what Iran said. Iran was like, wait there to the other Gulf nations, like, wait there. I thought America's supposed to be protecting you, but they're just moving their assets to protect from your lands to protect Israel. You know?
The whole UK relationship as well. Scott said he pissed off their veterans. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
World War." England said,
yeah.
"Our soldiers after the war was already won."
It's so funny. Bad. But he still asking for the ships though.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's confusion. Confusion. That's why Babylon's Babylon.
Yeah.
It's confusion in
And
that
it's,
place, man.
it's the property, man. We're seeing the fracture
Yeah.
in this, in the
the piece.
the toes. And
So it's funny, man.
we're starting to see it. This guy has really been, and it really shows you that Esau is a nobody. Because how are you gonna let this guy come into business and be talking like this? His hand, he don't have a handler. Whoever's there is just saying to him, yeah, just go, man. The world's your effort. Just tweet. Some of the things he's tweeting is like big Bill, man. Yeah. You're not thinking.
They said, "What do you think of Keir Starmer? He's no Winston Churchill. He's just." I'm so disappointed in him, man.
When he's sitting down with the Irish yeah. Some of the things he's saying it's so in terms of like diplomacy, it's a no-no, it's a red flag. Like you just
Even that
Japanese, yeah.
oh yeah.
Imagine pardon them.
About kamikaze.
He was just looking at him like, "Blood,
I'm on the surprise.
I actually wanted to bang him or something like, did he really just say that, man? I'm sitting there, he's just trash talking too much.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
One of the generals or something was like said some shit. Then like, bro, the Japanese Twitter was clowning her for like 2-3 days, just making memes of her. Just like how she disrespect.
Revelation 13,
Like,
man. Speaking proudly, this beast speaking blasphemies, both things. So this guy is really an embarrassment to America, and it shows you what time we're in. We're in the time of the end. This ain't like the beginning of the end, or could it be that this is the end of the end? This is it. It's cemented. You can see that America is done for.
Second, 9 watch out for the side, right? We're at this point now.
What she said?
Oh yeah, so don't need it right now. Don't need it right now. Yeah.
So Daniel 7 and 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom he fell, even of that horn that had great eyes, and the mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his
The
fellows.
boast and the pride. Who's doing that? Trump is fitting that perfectly. No one speaks like he does. No president ever spoke like he does, bro. So it's got to be him. Like, it makes sense to be him. Because how he behaves is causing so much ripples throughout the whole earth. It has to be him.
Yeah.
Looks like an you got a gold AK, like.
Yeah. Because you got
Throwing up people the wrong way, man. It's causing more greater fraction of that. So he's got to be the one putting this problem. And then tells you that we save so much money, we're going to put it in the military. What?
Sir.
Jeremiah 49 verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yashai of hosts, his wisdom no more in Teman, his counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished.
It looks like they just lost the plot. They can't make any right decisions. Now you can bring that because that goes with what we're talking about, right? But it just seems like everything they do is just a mistake. It's wrong. It's not working out. You know? And you might say it's incompetence, but we know also the elites are there trying to push this, they're trying to push the situation anyway. They want the war. So America has to be there and do the stupid shit. Israel has to be there to draw them out. Yes. Right? Because they have interests, right? They got an agenda to fulfill. Right? So however we end up there and we start fighting, it's because they want it. And more than that, the Most High wants. Then you got that first.
It's Isaiah 19 and 14. That's what I had.
NOT as well is going to be
NOT, yeah.
Okay,
that's strong.
Isaiah 19, 14 and NOT. And it says, the Lord has sent a spirit of foolishness on them. So all their suggestions are wrong.
What's the plan? The plan is, they're not planning. What's the plan? Well, we're just going to go blow some shit up. And they're going to surrender. And then the Iranian people can take over the nation. Bro, who are you dealing with, bro?
I said it was going to be like 2 weeks. Then it said it's going to be 6 weeks. They said, it's going to be months. Then like, that's what we're done in weeks.
Countdown as well. Don't forget a countdown. 24 hours. 5 days.
That's 9 days.
I don't know. But you know what?
Yeah. Winging it. It's Trump. It's not just a fucking winger, bro.
Esau's always had a system in place. He had someone that came up, put a system in place, and it was surefire in it, and it gave them the product every time on time. But now, they've gone so far, so used to it. It's like the guy that did the submersibles. The guy.
Titan thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He believed in his own mind. He was a great engineer because he made like a start. He built a plane, but it's a makeshift. It's like already. You just got to read the instructions to build a plane. So he thought he was some great engineer.
So I was going to back because when you watch the Netflix documentary on that guy, right? On what was the name of that thing? Ocean Gate, I think it's called. Yeah. It's like I remember the word that just came to mind was hubris. Right, just the pride that was on this guy, but a lot of people were telling him, "Nah, this ain't gonna run. This is an issue. That's a problem. Whatever, what have you." And he did it anyway, right? Like to the point where he had certain experts that were near him that said, "Bro, you don't want to do this."
Say he that secret nation to probably find it.
Exactly. And then the thing is, what would you call it? That's exactly what you're seeing with Esau.
Yeah. He's been throwing a loaded dice, on and on his whole rulership. 6 6 6 6. And he's just going like, let me try this. Everything, and he just always rolls the same numbers. But now he's rolling it, and it's like, wait, hold on. Now that's meant to be 6s. You've gone like the boy who cried wolf. Watch this. Like I'm gonna roll 2 6s. Go bet. Go to the other. Go coral and bet on me rolling 2 6s. And then it stopped working.
Talking about betting, then man put bets on the oil after So made man what man?
Body market and all that stuff.
That was inside corruption, but it's so fucking obvious. I mean, it's everything they do is so fucking obvious, man. But no, like I mean, they're talking about it, but it's like no one wants to do that. No one's gonna say that really bad. Like, America's corrupt. We're fucking corrupt, man.
That's the thing. It's like other countries, they talk about like, oh, Africa corruption, blah blah corruption. But it's like the way it's like, even from it was what's her name, Nancy Pelosi. They were saying her husband was doing like selling stocks.
Yeah.
Like on shit that she was voting on. Like she was debating it behind closed doors. Then her husband's like, oh, he bought 5 million. And it's like, what the hell? It's like, they made millions of them. It's like, and then people started copying her husband's like stock buys. So she had to stop doing it. Just got baited. Like,
That's why all these politicians are rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause they're fucking criminals, bro. They're criminals at the top that don't do nothing to each other. You know what I mean? Hillary Clinton. Oh, we're gonna make sure she pays for everything. She ain't paying for shit. She living life good.
She didn't know nothing about that.
Trump was gonna make sure.
I was
You know what I mean? They're all friends, all fucking friends, man.
They said that I'm serious. I don't know nothing about that. What do you watch the vid? They said to him, "You're the president of the United States. You need to tell me there was a woman that you had no idea who she was writing your vicinity." He goes, "Oh, you know, the secret service."
I'm like, she photobomb down.
But you know, there was one where with him, right? He was basically given some evidence to look at, and he was reminiscing. Like he was reminiscing. Yeah, and then his lawyer had to take away the paper because he was stroking it and shit.
And he was like, he's not going to answer that. He does not have to answer that. He protected himself.
It's one way he's wearing a skirt and he's bending over the table and like, come on, man. Him and Trump together.
Again, America's corrupt, man. Corrupt and wicked through, man. Right, and that's why the Most High can judge that place, man, because it's time. It's done too much now, man. There's things of mounting up to heaven. You know, so fire must come.
Psalms 144 and 7. Send thy hand from above, rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children, whose mouth is vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood.
Again, nothing that they do or say can be trusted. But that's something that we would know. People are starting to find out that this world has always been corrupt. You know, all your leaders have been shit, always deceiving the people. But it's something that the scriptures teach. These Edomites, because that's what they are, right? Because they will deny that they're Edomites. That's who they are. Could never be trusted. So they're born speaking lies. So when they tell you these things, like, and if you're a Christian, you must be one of the stupidest people out there. I'm not going to, you know, we already know this, but right, in the last days, do you know that the devil controls the world, right? The world, you know, is deceived by the devil, right? As they would put it, right? All your leaders are the reason for the deception. So that means none of these people can be trusted, but you're still going to go along and do the voting thing and believe in this and believe in that. When the world is corrupt. How do you not know or don't understand that these men do the work of Satan? It's not really hard to put together, but you Christians like to be ignorant.
So it's Isaiah 6:9-11, man. Always put that spirit of deep sleep on them, man.
Before the Epstein files came out, everyone used to think, oh, conspiracy theory. This celeb would never do that. This guy would never do that.
You know what I mean? Like,
But then the whole file thing came out, all this nasty shit. Now all of a sudden they're trying to normalize it, like to say, oh yeah, that's you know.
like you know about secret society.
Yeah.
Like you know all these different things, but you still want to believe that America is this great place or some righteous place that needs to be fought for, protected. No, it needs to be burned.
Yeah.
It needs to be destroyed. You know? He said.
Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places.
Most guys put it all out there, man. This is what you man are about. You know? It's just foulness, man.
Yeah.
You know? And there's no way to avoid it now. It's just everywhere. Like, you know?
Wow,
Don't sit on the table. You know, it's like the police officers do, but the whole don't sit on the table. This is what we got you.
like Agent Smith in the Matrix. Seems you live two lives. Oh, man.
Oh, like when the president like, yeah, we're about to announce Brexit, like sell off, like basically announce a sell off, and he was giving them inside the trading sits, and then they asked their Starmer like he knew all about this, and then he basically was like, oh yeah, he was a good guy. I thought he was a good guy. I just, he's like a nice guy.
That's a bit. It's like the reality is even with the Epstein files being released, it's more just getting the people to accept it. Because the thing is, a lot of people they're already at the point where it's like, yo, they're like, but they'll suck a dick for £1 million or whatever. Those things they're already accepted. So they're thinking, like, oh, they get to be amongst that level of people. I get to be one of the people, one of the 1%, one of the people in charge. They'll be like, well, fuck it, I'll do
That's
whatever.
what most politics is about. How do you, especially over in America, how do you make your bones? You need to get people to finance your campaign.
Your campaign. Campaign
So you need to
finance,
be in good books with people. You need to make
It comes down
friends.
to what you need to do.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Shake hands and kiss babies, man.
Oh,
Come here, little nigga, baby. You know, you need to do all that shit.
Was I thinking, what's it? The Wire as well.
Yeah.
Because even with his little finger, the same actor, with him, he was like, he wanted to become a governor. So he went up to them. He needed money for them to fund like the housing or school and all time. Then he said, he would have given me the money, but I would have had to not run for governor or whatever. It's like, it's all basically playing games where there's people above them. They're basically going to play the game to a certain extent. Yeah.
That's just what's alive. I mean, and so they're all fucking in on wickedness, bro. See where they are.
Yeah, to a crazy couple with House of Cards, man.
Yeah. And it's basically not
Kevin Spacey.
or wherever he's holding boys or whatever. So it's like yes.
This is, Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou dost labor from them.
And the enchantment's working overtime right now.
Oh.
Baby.
Well, no, but that's what. Yeah, but that was what the first attack was.
Yeah,
That was because remember, but just before that, Iran was burning the statue of Baal, right? And then the first thing they do is, and with a thermobaric weapon, mind you, which is basically a flame, right? On children. Yeah.
Right? The deception. As I say, Trump can't stop that. He's continuously reading that lie after lie, even though it's blatant. But he's trying to control reality. That's what Bush is trying to manipulate what you perceive. It's all right. He's just on overdrive right now. It doesn't matter how stupid it sounds. Who's gonna say it?
Because ultimately,
Because even with like narratives for different wars before, like even the Iraq war, it was like on TV, you're kind of seeing what they're reporting. It was only like years down the line when stuff was getting exposed that you kind of found out the full scale, like what Blackwater was getting up to, all kinds of fuckery happening, but like in the dark. But then the way the things are now, you can't even. How are you gonna run a narrative? Once you're running a narrative, Iran's posting on Twitter. Like what we see Iranian soldiers memeing on Twitter. Like, it's done. Like to just try and have that one.
I sent that in the group chat. You had the Judah guy, the Black American over in Iran, and he showed you guy and he's walking around Iran, and he was outside the embassy of America, and they showed it was propaganda pages like and it's quite good. I had a dollar bill, the Twin Towers, and the state found it. I said, yeah, this is basically the Twin Towers. America destroyed it to make money. So it's just saying stuff like that, and then like just saying, yeah, this like basically out in America and making it known. Like everyone knows. Like no one that narrative you've been pushing it's lost its legs. It's come to a halt, man. Yeah.
It's a running joke now, and almost in like mainstream comedy that they blew up the towers themselves. You know, and but once again, what I was saying earlier on is what Esau's basically saying to you is, what can you do about it?
There you go.
Yeah, we eat bait. What can you do about it? You gonna stop me now?
They want to come out in the open. But
Yeah.
that's the whole fight.
Yeah.
You know, Timothy,
Yeah.
plan for 3 world wars, and even that Dr. Zhang, he came out with his Pax Islamica, and had an Islamic world unite, and then Pax Judaica, you got that as well. But they want to put the Zionists against the leaders of the Islamic world. And that's that, you know, one people stand up, but that's prophecy anyway. It says one people shall stand up to fight against another. They showed you that in Children of Men. You had them Islamists with them flags, and that, you know,
Because they want to destroy, you know, conventional religion, right? And replace it with their own doctrine.
Yep.
They're doing a Jeroboam, man. Here are your gods that saved you. You know, that's gonna pull out the golden calf. And then
You are
everyone's
getting tired of all these wars, supposedly for a reason. Even though wars not really for a reason. It's just greed. They use religion as a reason to do certain things. But it's bullshit. It's always been bullshit. You know, just the wicked, greedy men in power. You know?
It says here, it says, with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so, thou shalt be able to profit, if so, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wary of the done it from day.
From the onset, go back to when they established America. It's under witchcraft. That's been the found that like the dream of America. It's really just an illusion. It's a mirage.
Well, it's based on Mount Mason.
Witches. Like we always mentioned, one of the 4 founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, found skeletons of people under his basement. Found like hundreds of bones of bodies. A room that had no window. Seriously.
Yeah, it's in London. It's near
London.
Charing Cross.
His yard is just there, bare skulls.
That's it.
Basement.
even on the back of the dollar bill, and the pyramid, and on the bottom of it, the Roman numeral. It adds up to what, 1776. Fast forward to today, you got the what, semi-quincentennial, man. So the Lord deals with time, and it shows you that pretty much Esau, pretty much his kingdom circling the drain, that the apostles always say, because the average lifespan of an empire is 250 years. You know what I mean? So the Most High is bringing them down. And all this divide, that's all through the Spirit of the Lord. You know?
On the money thing, because it's like Trump right now, he's trying to get his face and then his signature, but also on the coin. He wanted to basically put his face on the coin, but basically what they were saying was that's only dead presidents. Only dead presidents come on money. So it's like, is he prophesying against himself?
It comes out of Simpsons.
It already has.
Yeah.
She just got burnt.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She went up the flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the judgment of a witch
That's
should
it.
be burnt. That's what's going to happen to America. So Apostle Tahar was saying that's an omen.
That's it.
That's basically an omen of America's now.
Made that some dark horse, isn't it? Nah, she really looking like Freddy Krueger right now. I ain't seen her yet, but I want to see that.
When Dark Horse came out, there was like the Islam world was getting all upset because I think she had like the name of Allah on like something in that him or whatever. Like, and then because I remember when I was working, like when someone was telling me about that shit. But it's like it's all the music industry, it's all witchcraft, it's all pushing vibration, and that's it's tied in, man.
Thou art worried in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, and even them being worried, it makes me think about. Remember, many years ago, they got that message back from CERN.
and they had them all shook. You know what I mean? They know they've been numbered. Days are limited. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing that went out during the time of Egypt, man, when the Most High was plaguing that place. The Magi and that, they were trying to figure out ways to kind of stop it all. So they were consulting all these different, idols and whatever, but none of it prevailed. You know? And so it's Esau doing the same thing all over again, man, not knowing that it's the same thing. You know?
So bad now, they even got fucking pop stars now. They're resorting to like fucking like getting like campaign, like they got Nicki Minaj and fucking Trump talking about like, oh, like we're gonna save America for the Christians and then stop.
Go send out us the war then.
Yeah.
They play Anaconda up.
And then everyone, it's like, come on,
Yeah.
You know, guys, isn't it?
Oh, did you see this? I know you've probably seen it. This guy that Drewski making fun of Erica. Oh, you look like her, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He might be a tear though, because he showed his granddad. I don't know. So cool, white.
But it's funny, I just saw it randomly on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, I mean, he can do jokes about everyone. It's just that one group. You can't make jokes. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say who it is.
This is Matthew 24, verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
See, what people don't understand, man, there's more to the prophecy than just the wars and the earthquakes. Right? Everything kind of has to line up in its time for it to be accomplished. So yeah, there might have been wars back in older days and whatever, right? But there's only one time where all these things are going to align, right? Because the mark of the beast is a technological feat that wasn't achievable back then. Okay, but we're going to have that, or we got that in this time. So, right, so these wars that we're going through right now, yeah, they might not be the be all end all at this moment in time, but we are getting closer to that day. But on top of that, we've also got the technology for the mark of the beast to be implemented. You know,
If I can build on that, Zakwan, it's like when you look at throughout the world, the infrastructure is ready, and it don't matter if you're looking at what Trump calls a shithole country. It's got the tech. When you look at, for instance, passports, basically most passports in the world now are biometric. When you look at CBDCs, it's like countries representing like 95% of global GDP are all working on the CBDC, right? Some countries that you would even really think about were the first rule wants to really push it out. Jamaica,
Jamdex, I heard that.
Jamdex was I think Nigeria had one as well. But then when you look at like the payments infrastructure in somewhere like Africa, where you people don't deal with cash like that. Because when you think about cash, you see the G4S vans, there's a whole infrastructure like surrounding that. So in those countries, a lot of the notes will be old as hell as well, right? Because it costs money to print and print and print. So what they do in those countries, you get something called mobile money. Yeah.
People are a bit like, a lot of the times they're ahead of it. I think China dealing with Africa because of the rebels. So like even I think there's a payment system China introduced into Africa that they're using along that where it completely circumvents America. People don't care about cash. If they lose their phone or SIM card, so bro, nigga might kill himself because literally it's like merged into one app whereby it scans your face, it has it's got something called a Ghana card, and your Ghana card is probably as important or more important than your damn passport. You know what I mean? It has all your national identity.
Well, that's what they're pushing here in the UK too. They're pushing that. I see the evidence for that.
And you can't get a SIM card
You actually can't get a SIM card in Ghana without a Ghana card. So any SIM card you do get is temporary. Temporary will expire. But to get one, you have to be a citizen and have a Ghana card.
I think it's like China, South
Yeah, it's
Korea,
easy. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
to get a contract.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get like one contract
Yeah.
on your
Yeah.
like, I think
From what I know about the UK team, is like they got this app that they're trying to get you to put on there, like to prove your identity and stuff. But they say it's not mandatory. You don't have to do that. There's
what
no way
you want
can do
to.
it. But like I say, all it takes is a good crisis, bro. Don't let a good crisis go to waste, right?
That's right.
So that's all. That's all we gotta wait for.
An outbreak right now.
Yeah. There's a variant of the CB around somewhere. So obviously attacking Iran is being more attacks and all this stuff. There's all these things getting ready to be used to push this agenda. To make it, man. Round at lockdown.
Big tax.
For choice.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. Or we are not ignorant of his devices.
God opened it, they did better. God made it very not against it. You know? So it's not going to fool us, but obviously people out here that just think life's normal. You know, there's not being run by a bunch of demons. Obviously, they're just going to go along with it.
Yeah.
You know, because they feel like they have to.
Yeah,
There's no choice, really.
yeah, they.
Say this real quick. He spoke about waiting for the right major crisis. But that links up with that scripture. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. We're not ignorant of his devices. Remember, you had with the whole destabilizing of regions, you got these sleeper cells, you know, on the soils of America and that and whatever. You had
Well, they've been talking about that.
exactly.
You know, as that might be a reason as why something's happening, right?
Yeah. Remember, you had that guy. You got the ambush journalism. He said, "Soon you're gonna know who I am." Remember, that was the couple. They put him on Fox News. You know. So he said, "Look, you don't. If you were smart, you would know who I am." He goes, "Soon you're gonna know who I am." Remember that? He was saying, and then everyone went crazy over there in America. They were like, "Soon you're gonna know who I am." What does that mean? Should we be afraid? Yeah.
I think it's thing with that Professor Yang. I think he's Chinese intelligence. No, yeah. There's no way. And that kind of opened my eyes to that.
Yeah.
Because that's made me think, like, yeah, these people, like, they're actually got, when they say sleeper cells, it's gonna come in different shapes and forms. Like, where you just, it might be an artist, a rap artist, or something, and they're just gonna engage an influencer on TikTok or whatever.
That's
I can't even remember what he was talking against Israel at one of his concerts. Then it was just like Mango cancelled.
Oh, him.
His name.
What's the one? Something festival.
Yeah, it was
The main one. The main Glastonbury.
Glastonbury. Yeah, it was Glastonbury. Yeah, I know. And he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did that guy come from?
And where did he go? Nobody knows.
I was like, bro, how has no one even spoken like that? How does it not have someone like yeah, that's probably fucking it. AI, bro.
It's like Kanye.
Let's say he tweets and he faces this is for a bit. He was a clone. That nigga was like a light skinned nigga in dress. Like, where is it?
False flags and black swans there.
That's it.
You know,
Right, Christ.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I was like, even with like the Cyprus safety and him saying, "Oh, it seems like it wasn't Iran that did it." Bro, you're basically admitting that false flags are like a thing that's going to be an element.
Yeah.
And it's been that way in war anyway.
Even like the Bondi Beach thing. Before they went in there, but that was like the prerequisite before they went in, because you have to be supporting Israel, right? Because they're getting attacked with this shit, right? So now that Israel got the excuse to go in and do what they're doing. But it's just to push the narrative and to push their agendas, man.
So this is Matthew 24:21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was since the beginning of this world to this time. No, nor ever shall be.
This world is about to get real fucked up, man. Real fucked up. Beyond anything you can imagine. Because most people don't believe it can happen. Or how bad it can get. Oh, you know, right now, all the oil prices, they're just, the petrol price is expensive. But you don't know how bad it's going to get, man. How people are going to be crippled. Like, even these people that are on good salary are going to get crippled, man.
Yeah.
Crippled.
They're being crippled.
Yeah, that's like they're saying like 6 figures isn't even enough.
Yep.
And then you can't stop this.
The price, and once again, this is on top of mortgages that were already up. Exactly. Because you remember last week, going into just the stats for like London, where it's like most people, because London's so expensive, buy at the top of their affordability, right? So that means basically when it went up last time, they were hurt from back then.
Yeah.
And then because a lot of the houses that people can quote afford now are flats, those flats have something called service charges on them. So it's like not only is your mortgage gone up, your service charges is being increased by evil amounts. I'll put it to you like that. You know, so then you can't sell it because then the next person's like, wait there, it's £700 a month on service charge. Why am I gonna buy this house? But that hurts us too, though. If you don't own property, because our landlords are those people. Yeah. 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 But that's making a load of landlords now sell up because they're like the financial risk is too high for me to. I'm not making any money. So what you're gonna then start seeing is the pool of properties available for renting shrink, right? And then after that, you're gonna start seeing just especially if you're Jake, it's gonna become a lot harder as a Jake to rent, because it was half a shot.
Verse 22, it says, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So that's why your house doesn't need to be, man. Because otherwise, homeowners going to get nicked, isn't it? Everybody else be up to quick, man. Yeah. The Lord's going to deliver his elect. All right, we're going to start over.
People are thinking they're going to fly off into space and not even be. Like they're like, I ain't even gonna deal with the consequences of that. But they're like, on nuclear winter or whatever. Like that's the kind of maniac they have in charge. But then you think what are they really willing to do? They're probably thinking, well, I got stores of food, I got this, I got that. Like fuck the average Joe.
Oh, that's what makes it Joe. These are leads now. He's prepared for. So farmers are having problems with the fertilizer. So there's gonna be a.
And it said, from 2-3 days ago, the last stock would have left was basically out. So now is where you're gonna start seeing the impacts of all those things. They said, because of like liquid natural gas, fertilizers gonna be up. And then it's like could be famine down the line. But a lot of the things it's going to take months to kind of feel it.
And that's not even taking into account lockdown. Remember lockdown was bare factories. Closing down. I was gonna mention this, right? It's funny that the war in Ukraine is still going on, right? Because that's not the very fast in Europe, right? During the lockdown, all the beef farms and shit. But they even tapped all the meat, the meat producers and all the like what's left in the economy then? All these things have been attacked and destroyed. What's left?
Yes. Okay. Out scripture.
Yeah.
So, 2 Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. When it says of famine and great death, like if people underestimate famine, like it's coming, it's here. From time you have a problem with your food supply, it's cooked. That's it. You know what I mean?
And that supply chain, by design. They got lab grown meat.
Yeah.
You know, you eat the bugs.
It's
solid green.
But even casual dining now, it's premium prices. Lando, 3 items will cost you £20 off the rate.
That's a cost of everything. That's it's already like from 2020. Everything it's been back-to-back crises. It's like now with like the Strait of Hormuz, that's really looking like what got Nero thinking, like, oh shit, because it was like the economy was looking like that was done, and it's like they need that economy to keep the war going in the first place. And like back home, people are gonna start losing their mind. The food stamps stop. That the ability to eat, ability to drive as well. America being like the driving land. Once those things hit, then people are gonna start losing their minds, and they got guns and empty bellies.
Right, that.
Mad Max the thing, man.
That's why I said it's gonna be like the purge, man. It's gonna be moving on. The guns now.
It says, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning, of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
So the real question is, what are you gonna do when these troubles come, when these evils come? Because we already understand what needs to be done.
Right.
Heard that for like 20 years.
But yeah, we already understand what needs to be done. Because our thing is trusting in the Lord, right? Trusting in the precepts and the prophecies, right? So we know what needs to be done, but what are you going to do? What are you Irish people out here going to do? Because prophecy dictates or states that you want to take the mark of the beast in order to survive, right? And you might not think that you're going to do that right now because you just think, oh, that's so outlandish or whatever, right? But tell me, what are you going to do if these times come? What are you going to do? And the government comes through and, oh, well, we've got this solution here. What are you going to do? Because you might not believe in these scriptures. Not even these damn Christians believe in these scriptures, man.
Reset. Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So the Most High has made it clear what is it he expects of us, right? When these times come, what we should be doing, right? We know not to trust this devil and his machinations, because he's looking to enslave everybody, man. Like right now, you feel, oh, it's in the realm of conspiracy. Oh, he's not really trying to do all of that. But tell me, anything we say, has it been not the truth? Has it not been happening? Are they not trying to bring everything together in their Tower of Babel moment? Of course they have. It's not that they ditched the ideas that we've been speaking about and they're not working actively on things that are going to control your mind, Islam, that are going to control your mind and control your lives in the future. They're still working on that shit. It's just timing. Like Habakkuk 2 and 3 tells you it's time.
Yeah. But basically, the Most High give us the vision to see everything that's happening, man. And y'all couldn't see it. And now it's happening. You really ain't got a damn thing to say. But we was able to see it, and we can see still more the things that he's going to do. Yeah, it's all part of the process. Y'all couldn't see it. That's why you got to take it. The Lord says that. You know what I'm saying? Take into what the prophets are saying. We've been given the vision to see the future. We told you the future. And the mark of the beast is major prophecy. Where we're at right now with things.
But you're going to choose to trust in a people that you know you can't trust. You can't trust Trump. Like, come on, man. But you're going to try it anyway that time. Or a lot of people. Not all of you, but a lot of you will. But even if he's got the answer, or Starmer, he's got the answer. It's funny to put the same answer. It doesn't lead to peace and safety. It leads to state. And all destruction is also going to destroy you.
About this theory from the slavery. Basically, what they've done is destroyed the old world, destroying
destroying the old world. They've destroyed even their own image. They've showed you what they're getting up to. Okay, all the dirt, all the demonic shit, everything they put it all out there. They've destroyed the celebrities. They've destroyed that old world. And part of destroying that old world, the main part they want to do is destroy the economy. And to do that war, when you watch Children of Men, shows like that, there was war going on. While they basically when they crashed it, that's how they crashed the economy. But then so you got the Strait of Hormuz stuff, prices are going up. Easy that it justifies economic crash.
That's organized.
Right.
It didn't happen organically.
You know? Right. And
Ron was making things.
No, happy to negotiate.
Ron was negotiating the mix and now
Fuck that.
them small hats, the scripture says what the least shall fall. They're the ones that they feel and that's just the scriptures always refers to them as being small, even in Obadiah, right? And the way they are, anytime you watch the interview with them, they're always talking like that, like they're just a person. They're getting attacked by everybody on the whole planet. Yes, they're living the nicest planet, right? So what's this plan? They're weirdos, bro. The creeps. They want everyone chipped. The paranoid. The losers. They want everybody in complete slavery just to feel comfortable. Why would you be like that if you're not the devil, if you're not paranoid, if you're not a criminal? Why would you be like that? Okay? They've done fucked up everything and they know it and they're fucking up everything. And that's why it says in Isaiah, it says everyone's gonna look at him and it's this the man that made the earth tremble. This one, this you know, these dudes, man. These webs, these creeps. Okay?
Yeah. Romans 3:3. What if some do not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh?
Yeah, so a lot of people still a lot of people small-minded. You walk around, you still go around there, yeah. People are still getting on with it. You know what I'm saying? Really, and you know what? You got influencers saying that they're fucking kind of got deals and weirdos saying that they're saying stuff like people all this come out and know what they doing nothing. There was one dude he used it for me. What's that dude, man? That light skinned dude. He's always in Bali and that. It's just not you. He's an American dude. Shane or something. And this probably exists. And he said basically, world look like better PDFs, baby Satanists. He said that everybody knows it, they ain't doing it. He said, we're still shy for it like that. As a famous bitch, a pickup artist. Okay. I started sending it, man. So people are still getting on with it. All right.
Away with it's like one or maybe like 3 countries where they're kind of doing investigations into like one guy. Then it's just like the scale of it is clearly it's the same thing with like the BBC, where it was like that's institution.
You go past the BBC, went past there. Cage and the statue, man.
How is it?
But
So you can't. That's
barricade.
out. So no, that's why I'm surprised.
Right. So people found out that the statue represented pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? The little boy on the man's lap. That's the BBC symbol. Go there, you see a massive statue in the front of the building. The only statue. Yeah, they're pulling in this armored cage. Okay? It came out in the main street with some other protests. Back in the day. Some back in the day protests going on. So we got outed. I think it's when remember all the riots were going on up in central London, even around there. Remember that? I can't remember what that was about.
And then like
I remember.
Yeah. Also, it was
actually that.
and after that, they were like, yeah, the best slavery history in Central London.
So that's when all the statues all of a sudden started getting out. That's they get that. That's the one. So this place is, and it's not really because they're doing it, it's just the side. You can't. They're the ones, man. They don't even like. They think that they're riding the waves. Riding the waves to get down. Okay.
Class on like on national TV, you know, man just having to eat.
You know what I ain't watched? So should question time. All this going on. That would be that would go. Watch it. That would be good.
They started restricting people that are allowed in there. Yeah, like before I think it was just like anyone. Then I heard that they're not letting people in. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Or you could just yell at a politician.
You're paid off. Cursed out. They start throwing spiders.
They didn't got that.
There was one dude that was throwing eggs at King Charles.
Well, they used to throw eggs at politicians, but
It used to happen like that.
There's only one or two guys that do that though.
we're going years back. I don't think.
John Prescott.
No, he was the one that. Well, you got eggs.
Yeah.
I got a preset.
Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places.
And it's all on the open. It's glorious statues that is that all oppressive, dark history. Okay, and Edomites don't know what to do. If you go around, you'll see that Edomite women are trying to sneak in there. They want to get with Jakes, but they read, but they're weirdos all at the same time. She's British ones. They're weird elves. Okay, this is weird. People don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because the Epstein stuff's come out, so it's exposed. Something else is going to say. That's what's going on right now. People are trying to. Oh yeah, the other thing is, they had the whole movement of, we didn't do it. Oh, that how can we attack it? You guys should oppress people, or slavery wasn't really that. They're basically trying to get out of it. They was always trying to. Yeah, but that didn't work. They'll say things like, "Oh yeah, you enslaved yourselves." Things are old arguments, but they brought them back up to see all of them. And then there were a lot of people that were like in England, or let's say Farage and that. They were back in Trump. Then it came out that, Trump started cursing them out. Yeah, he started cursing out one of their leaders, Raj. Yeah. Okay. So it's all the best. They thought that because you've got the Australian racist over there. They've got Sky News Australia. It's different to the Sky News over here. Sky News Australia is racist, but they support Trump. And they got that snarly talking that they do. That proud. They'll attack like people of color or attack anything like that. Okay. But that's not going to work. And you know what, like that? Really, that movement is really to support the World War III thing, or the economic chaos with, or the world chaos with the Muslim world versus the so-called white Christian. Okay, that overplayed stuff. That's what I like that. Okay. Now you started to see British white girls wearing St. George's cross. They don't used to do that. That's something Irish do. The Irish would do that. They wear the travellers and that wear big chains, crosses. But now some of them would do probably cuts here and there. But now a lot of them are starting to do. And if you see that now that means get out of our country. Like Trump, right? Now that's what that means. You know what I'm saying?
Habakkuk 2:16. It says, "Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto
This is where they invited. Okay? Everyone was looking to him as a beacon of light. Where he's supposed to be in society. It's like Esau. Okay, he's in control of everything. All these colleges, universities. You know what I'm saying? Everyone to join these organizations and climb up the ladder. That's how you be the right person. Right?
Good outstanding British.
Right. Okay. When you find out that the higher you get to the ladders, the creepier it gets, man. You go up, you might get Epstein. You might get Stinks, man. Okay. You might end up in the E-files.
Talk to the party.
Right.
Got a soiree.
That's what you got to start asking, man. Have you been offered to go to the island? That's what you got to start asking, or have you been offered to go to the party? So, that's the truth, man. So that's what's going on. People were shocked. And then you find and names all these, everybody's in there.
Bro, everyone was like, what? I was like, UK politicians, and I was like, damn, I was like, you guys are cooked off that.
Celebrities, actors, and it gets intricate.
And then all these men acting like, oh, we were there. Elon Musk, I don't know. I don't get back.
Perhaps he did the same thing.
Yeah, that's early.
I had no idea.
What's going on? That's Piers Morgan. Like, go in the files, you are. I just like, oh, no.
That was it.
I'm curious to hear what it's going to say, what he was didn't expect it. Oh, that came out of the votes when you're in the files. And he was in the files. And you know, Piers Morgan, all around the aristocrats. Yeah. He helps them with a lot of things for the aristocrats.
I did an interview with Andrew. I can't remember. Was it him or someone else?
They're trying to do the damage or King Charles is a shame.
It's disgusting.
Right.
He would never do such a thing.
Then come on, man.
They knew about him the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
They knew about him. He's really had all these connections with these shady people, Jimmy Savile and all these.
Yeah, I was saying.
Like, you don't know.
And the Queen said that they drink blood, and now it's coming out that that's what they do. He said that.
Well, she was wanted in Canada.
Canadian schools, kids that were missing back in the day.
Okay, I think that happened in Africa as well.
Yeah.
Some kids were missing under the Queen.
Fucking far for kids.
Right, so what happened there? So, what do you know? You know what I'm saying? They ate them, drank their blood, or whatever the fuck they did. Okay? The Bayal, they even Bayals in the plot files. Bayal is mentioned in the files. I seen the files before I ran. I seen the file. We seen the files. It's in the files. So all this was mythological. We were talking about cursing out gods in all our videos all the time, and now it's coming out that these elites.
Yeah, one were emailing, one got clickety clack on the keyboard to each other. Oh. Second Thessalonians 2:7 says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he
and these Illuminati, they worship ancient gods, right? They're in tune with the spirits of even Satan. That's why when they build statues, what do they build? They resurrect, or they'll get an old statue and bring it in their houses or put it somewhere. Monuments in the Western Empire from the ancient world, obelisks. You know what I'm saying? Different statues of different gods. Another thing they love is the Greco-Roman gods. Matter of fact, the Bank of England, the god on that building is Mercury, and it's supposed to be a god of commerce and all that. But it's all over the building. There's a video on it all over the fucking building. There's a massive statues of Mercury. What's going on with that?
But you're made to be with just art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's meaning to these things why they had them there in the first place.
Right.
You know?
They okay. Well, it's sus. Say people ain't saying that anymore. I wonder why. It used to be sus, now it's white. You know what? Let me not even say all that. Forget that. But check this. Why on earth have we got those statues on the building? Okay, so it's just art, right? But they know what it's in tune with what represents.
But it's worship to them.
Yeah.
All their operations, they pray to these gods for it to be prosperous.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So to you buy it, you just think, oh, it's just art. You know, they just do some concrete. But there's a reason why it's there. You know, it's not there for no reason. Like even on the Capitol building, got Persephone on top of the Capitol building. Like why? You know, there's a reason why they have these things in place. You know, and the Cleopatra's Needle, and there's reasons why they have these things here. It's not because it's just art. You know what I mean?
Prayers. That's just sit there and pray. Hold that God. That's what the scripture says. That's what they do that to all of these guys. Get the servant, walk over by whatever, however, and they'll call on the God.
And go around Human Grove, stand around the owl, all that. Why are they always doing it? Some, you know, these same people that go and do that are Christians. Suppose.
Doing it for Jesus. Yeah. Resilient. Stayed. Yeah, she did a sale. There's some TV.
What they're about, right?
Yeah, the World Economic Forum. And you see
What's that about?
three steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like only very recently we've been able to actually see what goes on there. That's like a lot of things that happen. It's like when there was TV, you might see 3-5 minute snippet, but you're not really you're not there the whole time. Whatever they've been doing behind there, like it's who even knows.
Exactly.
So was it Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah,
That's what it is. It's shut.
We done. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yeah, that's the prophet. With the mouthpiece. Right. Okay, so what we're telling you, what they were doing, they're worshiping these Baal, you know, whatever the hell they got, you know. Zeus, you know, they're like Mercury and they're like Apollo and that.
They named the spacecraft after Apollo.
What's that one that yeah. Oh yeah, so yeah, all that whole space. That's the Apollo and all that. Apollo space mission. And then they'll name something the dragon. They got something. Yeah. So why are they doing that? People, the useless leaders as they call it, they're not true. They don't know what's going on. They think that nothing spiritual. Everything's spiritual. don't just do something.
Because right now they've got the Artemis 2, but funnily enough, they were supposed to launch, I think, on the 6th of March, right? So it's like before then it was like, okay, so they're about to do something. Because I was just looking up Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, wild animals.
He's the cunning hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, temple still up. Oh, still up in Bruce, yeah, temple.
And they just sacrifices.
Mm.
You know, that's the dark part. All these gods require sacrifice. So what did they do? Gods, animals. Yeah? That's what they get down with, man. There's a big cult in the UK called Cartay cult, and they do sacrifices to God. It's facts. There was an investigation, but it got pulled up. Okay? Because the guy was trying to expose it, and I think the town and the chief said, "Look, man, you want to." How would you? You understand? Wink, wink. I would just go about your life. Okay, you like it? You like that? This was south of London, so it was Kent somewhere, right? Basically, all the cats, a lot of the cats and dogs were missing in that village. And when you look up the Cartay, that's what it requires. Dog sacrifices. What to get down?
But like you say, like, why are they doing this shit? It's because there's science. There's science to who they are and what they're about. But people don't see the science because they're not privy to it. They've been dumbed down. But the scripture lets you know what we're looking for. It's not a coincidence that we come to all these conclusions. It's because the scriptures have laid it out plainly for us, man. And so when they're doing certain things and naming these things after certain things, like, well, what's that about? Because because they're Edomites. Because they're Satan. You know, they're fulfilling their part in the prophecy. You know?
I must need to read the next verse. So verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yeah. So that's the power that they represent. When they're doing it, and saying they are Satan, the flesh, man. Okay, and then the spirit, when they do that, there's demons all around, all right? There's demons around these people. They've got demons on them. There's demons in their houses. Okay? There was one documentary I was watching. He was saying that, and there was news reports on it, so it's backed up. But he was saying that Prince William said that in this one of the castles that they're in, the rooms is filled with spirits, which says he likes it. I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying?
Table starts to move.
They're into that power. There's a lot. If you go to the somewhere places, a lot of the Edomites out there into the paranormal. Edomite woman does paranormal. And that's what they do. They go around. And it was and it was live. The live streaming. And they're trying to see if the cop's going to get knocked over or all this kind of stuff.
These are the dark spirits. I mean, that's the dark spirits, ghosts, and he's familiar with them. He's familiar with them. They said he's been dealing with witchcraft since he's youth. So he's not up to these things. He understands what they are. They just think that he's helping them. And really they're leading him to his own destruction.
Yeah, he's a dark spirit. So you gotta be a demon to want to eat babies. You're the demon. You're trying to contact demons. You're what? Okay. That's the truth. You know, like the angels are brothers, but demons are their friends. Which is a double agent, so yep. You know what I'm saying? Double agents are gonna be like, look, I'll fuck you. So
I would never would you.
that's how they get down. That's their nature.
Like spirit.
We played. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happened, man. Get played, the demon tell you, like, go. And then he try and call it again, it don't pop up. You know what you found? Start losing it, smashing mirrors. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a musical talent that Steve would give you a plastic talent. That's it. Steve.
That's when people start losing their voice and shit, you know what I mean? Can't sing no more, can't dance no more.
Yeah. But that's when the Lord said he's bringing down the stars of heaven. It got brought down. It brought exposed, brought down. Go ahead.
No, basically, I looked up, there was one book called The City of London, a Masonic guy, that was published by a guy called Yasser Brasinia. And basically, like, he goes through like 26 key locations in London that are all to do with Masonic history, starting with Freemasons Hall down Covent Garden. And then he just breaks down like the fact that like most of those they've all got Freemasons architects that are basically on behind like across the globe. You got the back and built by a guy called Sir John Sowen, the prominent Freemason architects again across Europe. And I've got
Send me that.
yeah, I'll send it.
That sounds dope.
But he goes with the Temple Church as well, which is in central London, and the fact that it's got historical significance to the Da Vinci Code and a strong and connection to the Knights Templar going back to old school masonry back then. I'll send that.
Those basically to become to join the group, you got to become a part of the Masons. Masons are control structure. It's grooming. You got to be in that, and then they start introducing you to Satanism.
So they kind of head on you, innit?
Right.
Oh, they scout you,
You've got talent.
and they put themselves in it.
Because there was a guy, you remember him?
Like there's a lot of musicians today. Their parents were always Masons and shit. Kind of poet. So, Houston. They made that. Came out in the file. And you know the porn thing, there was always that dude with the long hair that they always show his face. Yeah, small hats. Yeah, the small hats, they control that porn. And they come out in the files, that Wyman Epstein, he played Fortnite, man.
Some reason I find that surprising. I don't It's predatory action.
Add-ons to the game, like Twilight.
Skins.
And you can play by mission. All the add-ons they play for everything. The email, see the email? When he emailed someone shit, he asked for that. He set that up.
I'm saying there's a few things that you set up. I'm saying like those different websites you got set up. Like, I was like, bro, this guy was like set it. It's like a lot of that technology shit.
Yeah.
Like the kind of way they pushed it. Like they're like there's more hands in it than you kind of think. You might think, oh, it's innovation or whatever. But then it's obviously they're looking for a certain kind of. Even now, it's like with phone technology, kids are like born with like a smartphone in their hand. So it's like a lot of them things they kind of like they saw it. They're like, okay, yeah, we can use it. Like the iPad. Bro, I've seen this. Like I saw like a child wasting not even one with the iPhone, like, going through YouTube using it. I'm like, damn. Like, bro, it's like you can't even speak.
Yeah, and it's cooking there.
It's like man just knows how to get cocoa melon and whatnot. It's a mess.
That's crazy. It's part of that. That's part of the metaverse.
Yeah.
You're streaming constantly. You know what I'm saying? Walking around, you can't get out of the.
No, they won't.
In the real world,
Yeah.
basically, like Pokemon. What's it called? That's
Yeah,
what everybody that's walking around are basically a Pokemon. Bro.
thing is like,
Come out their house, do the food, go to the corner shop, go to the grocery store. It's street. People, they just using it, and then what? They're in it.
yeah.
They're paying everything. Pay. You basically use it for everything. Okay, to pay for things.
Just to check that it's like talking to the AI. A lot of people where it's like the way they like anything that happens, they'll just go to AI and be like, oh, is this true? Oh, AI. How do I clean my own mask? Like, what are you doing?
And then you got people that stream their life. When we streaming the truth, okay? We're putting the truth out there, constant goal truth. But these people, like the AI will learn that people streaming 24/7. Some random shit, right? They go to sleep, they wake up, go to the toilet. This will all be streamed. How people
When I
react.
saw it, it was like
It's
people
all-
just asleep. Like,
What's worse is that people want to watch it.
yeah, no,
that's
for real.
even worse. You know what I mean?
Why
Like,
don't they have a
you wouldn't watch the
conversation?
first.
You got YouTube, you scroll, there's live, everyone's streaming. Right, you serial.
That's
Yeah, TikTok live.
you know, bro, just pop up on a random person's face. Preacher, 9 a.m. Crazy.
I should do it, like the sun just rose. Like, man, it's just, and it,
So the other mentioned came out that app was used to map to map. If people was all people in the park searching for a Pokemon, that was to map. It's more expensive.
Paying compensation for that.
I'm crazy.
Tried to say there was fasting on there, but
probably could tell.
yeah. They
Goals, like drinking,
It was just used for data anyway. I did a video on this last week. It was used for back to like you said, it was used for that. Because we went to a couple of different, we went to some organizations, but they tried to say, well, we're just it's consent. You know what I mean? They tried to put that out there. So it's kind of, they always do that. You don't know what they do with the data. So, what's this?
the same thing. The ID thing. There's been like data leaks on that already, where they said they're not meant to keep like the pictures or the IDs, but then they're keeping them like where it would have been like a week, whatever.
Well, it came up, well, when you take school photos, yeah, it came out the geeks that's like behind that organization. Yeah. Steve.
Listen, it's got every fucking school photo. Like, that's how they pick it out. Like, it's a menu. Like, that's hella. But then Pizzagate, it's funny when Pizzagate happened, everyone was like, "Oh, that's crazy. There's no way that could be Pizzagate." But now it's like people are like, "Oh, wow."
Trying to scuff up.
Built the legendary stuff. So are you crazy, man? It's actually so funny, bro. So it's like, because now it's like it's involved.
Reset. This is Psalms chapter 64, verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. We're the opposite of that. We encourage ourselves in righteous matters. You know, got the Pesach coming up. That's part of yourself in righteous matters. Okay, that's what we do. All right. The elect will be rewarded for that. Okay. When the Lord, there's going to be rewards. So when Yahweh starts rewarding, you have to be doing. You can't just be in the world not doing and not get rewarded. How? Okay.
With the prize, you don't run the race.
Right. So do that loser that's rejected to even saying Starbucks talk shit. Beat up. Hell no, man. Okay.
Quick one on what you just said. It says Matthew 24:46 says, "Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing."
Okay. It is for for the world that they did. It's all mapped out in that time. Saying the angels are going to protect the elect. The enemy shall come as a flood, right? The Lord shall raise a standard to protect the elect. Brothers, they're going to be protected. All right, so the angels are watching him. And that's why we teach. We exalt the name of the Lord and the Son. It's going to be evident. Everyone's going to see that. So, you know what? Famines, people are hungry. Okay, guess what, man? The elect are going to protect it. It's going to get real fucking bad. And a lot of what y'all are going to do is run to the government to get shipped. Okay? Right. Yeah. And you that means you failed.
Nah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Psalm 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine.
The eyes of the Lord. The eyes of the Lord. Those that fear. That's right there. What's over? There's many awful examples of deliverance in Scripture. That's why faith is not okay, that's the great. Still talking. Okay. Yeah, why the worship Satan? Why did why did it talk shit against the scriptures? They're against the scriptures. They're against the Quran. Okay. They're against the Vedas and Sanskrit, which is that yoga stuff. They're against that. You see why what they know. They're completely opposite to the Lord and the God of the Bible. So that alone show you what's going on out here. That alone. Okay. It's pretty simple. The enemy, the rulers, the devil, Satan, the rulers of this world, the elites, right? They're against the scriptures, the God of the Bible, and they worship Satan. It's kind of clear what's going on here. Okay.
Job 9:24 tells you what you need to know. The earth is be given in the hands of the wicked. It's not complicated. It's not really hard to figure it out. But you people live in denial. You know, you don't really want to accept that your leaders are all wicked, even though you follow after their wicked practices. You know, you don't know any better. You think you're better, but you've done the same thing all these other empires have done previously. We're no different. You know?
This is the last kingdom, America, Babylon the Great. This is the last one. Okay? That's what when you read Revelation 17, Revelation 30, read about the beast, the 7 heads and 10 horns. Esau's whole power structure. This is the end. America being the last. That's riding. All going out. All of that's going to get cast out. America basically is the last kingdom of Esau, the last empire of all the heathen kingdoms. Okay. Is it?
Yeah. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yeah, just people pay us. Both have. Came out like that. Came out like that. But he was trying to come against this scripture, and the apostles were on hold. It's clear why. Why don't you want it to be true, man? We gotta start asking you that. Okay, why do you want these script? Why do you want scripture to be true? You want Ishmael to be the last one that's in power? What it says, right? And then, so they try and throw that away, but then they want to twist who Esau is. Esau's done away, right? So you know that you just got a problem with what he's saying. He's trying to deflect, twist, right? So that just that alone, we can clearly see who you are. So it brings it simple. You break things down simply, and then you can see. So you people struggling, man. Okay, you just go get chipped. All right, you're struggling with this. I don't know. I'm sure. I mean, maybe don't you think this could be? Come on, man.
All right. If that's how you feel, then we know the Most High blinded you, man, and that's what he tells you. As I say, it's real simple. That's what it means to us. The Lord has blinded you. You know, it's not hard, man. We understand that people have to play their part in the Most High's plans, and there's a whole bunch of you that ain't gonna believe, that ain't gonna see, they're gonna be rebellious towards it, and we're not meant to care.
Yeah.
So it's something not believe, but we don't care. We're simply doing our job by telling our people what's going down. You know.
That's right.
Who said?
Necessary disruption.
Yep.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, he is hid to them that are lost.
So like I say, it don't upset us. It's like it is what it is. We're gonna have these agents who still come against not believing what we're saying, make all kinds of excuses and bring out kind of wacky doctrines and breakdowns to try and justify their positions. But at the end of the day, they don't matter to us. It's not proof, it's not evidence to us. We don't lose sleep on what you think. Because we can see plainly that you're wrong. Yeah. Lord has blinded you, man, and that's that. There's nothing to talk about really. Debates and there's nothing to debate about really. We're just gonna tell you that you're wrong. Hold whatever you believe to the end, didn't it? It don't matter.
Yeah, as for me and my house, we'll follow the Lord. What was it? Elijah said that?
Exactly that.
Joshua's daughter.
Yeah, exactly that, man. So it's what it is, man. But you can't refute the things that beginning of all the apostles have been bringing out. You can't refute. It's happening. It's happening, man.
Yeah, the prophecies are coming to pass. Like, we're in the midst of the time when everything's coming to pass. Like, it's not really a matter of questioning, because even it's to the point where it's like people in the world are lining up what's happening in the world with the Bible. Like, it's become that claim. And like when it's like that, then it's just a matter of faith, really. Because there's those where it's been given to, and those where they're basically been blinded to it. So a lot of people, they're unable to see. To really line it up, it's just like you even question it.
Yeah, you got war with Iran going on right now, and everyone can see it. Everyone can feel that. It's just scared. But the scripture says that when people will be eating and drinking. So that people are gonna be stripped and shit, man. It's the pain. A lot of them they're just scared. They ain't got no vision. They're just not those people. They ain't got the eyes out. The Stevens and extras in the film. A lot of these people are gonna get destroyed, man. Captivity. Not judgment. Basic judgment is coming on the planet. Yeah. Can't escape.
Precept. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved is the power of Yahweh.
Yeah, these chariots as well. We're gonna be being built. There's gonna be a great deliverance on the planet. Okay, for the elect. That's gonna be that day of the Lord when America's destroyed. Them chariots are gonna be the elect, so they don't get destroyed in those two. Okay, that's a glorious day. That's coming. That's what we're waiting for. The day of the Lord. We brought in captivity and shame. Leave this motherland. Be sick. You know what I'm saying? So that's the scriptures right there. It's captivity, slave ship, chain, why words. We did this captivity. We're gonna leave the sons of God.
This is Romans chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe, so their unbelief made the faith of Yahweh Shemiel shine without effect? God forbid. Yea,
We read that earlier. Okay.
let Yahweh Shemiel shine be true, but every man a liar, as it is written.
Yeah, if you were teaching these scriptures, it's all lies. There's a lot of people are jumping on the wave of the conspiracies but it's public knowledge. You've got people trying to get the glory off it right now.
You're 20 years too late for that.
It's insane. You got all these YouTubers. Come on, man, give it a break.
The thing with that, they always wanted it to just be out in the open anyway. That was the final kind of step where they can just be who they are. There's no resistance to it.
You've got to the point now, people are desensitized to a lot of this stuff now. So it's easier to bring out this stuff. People they might be a little bit outraged, but it quickly disappears, man. They don't really care. Everyone else is doing it. You know what I mean? It's like we're all doing it.
Yeah, people have been wicked all over these years. They're wicked themselves. Okay, there's levels to the wickedness, but they're wicked too. So they're eating all abominations, they're doing all sorts of shit. Okay, they're just wicked. And then they just want to enjoy themselves too. They're weak. You know, slaves to the flesh. Yeah, slaves to the basically. They're all complete slaves to the flesh. They're weak, you eat giant crabs all day. Just a weak spirit. The only thing left for a weak spirit like that is to get that check. What else is left for that spirit, man? Okay? They got no resilience. They standing up. They're rebellious and righteousness. They're a weak ass spirit.
But it's good to say that their God is their belly.
Right.
You know? That's what they're going to care about.
Yeah.
You don't do Babylon, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Either crab platters or squid. You know what I mean? They collect the fancy restaurants. When you go past them, when you go past them, you know, people to eat this crab, you got to put on the apron. Everyone's
flying everywhere. Like, oh,
you know, you can just see in the shop, everyone's sitting there, right? Got fucking aprons on with these gloves and all these tools.
with a crack in the and then just like sucking out. I'm like, bro, it's like all that. Bro, chicken just like that shit falls off the bone when you cook it. Like leg of lamb, that shit like damn, bro. So you gotta do all that work. So bro, it's like
get TNT and everything to bust open the
what a lot of them do, but the videos of them, man. There's videos of people wrestling with the crabs to get him in the pond. And then there's videos of them getting bored and all that. So what they do, but sometimes like they'll try and get the thing in the pot and they grab them on their wrist or their finger, they don't want to go in there. What they do, they actually boil them alive. That's what I think it's to do with like with the crashing, because what they sometimes do, one video, crabs there alive and they got the knife and they squashed it in the middle of the head through the shell. But I think for the meat purposes, it's better to just boil it alive.
I think it's probably like toxins.
Right.
So the shit don't look appetizing.
There was one who was trying to crack the shell off him. You could see. These videos are crazy. Cartoon fucking.
They're doing all that just to eat. Like.
There's one dude, the crabs on the jumped up out like, the side to the ground, and he was trying to get him with the chlorine. Trying to go through martial arts.
That's quite nice. Hi, I need some advantage. Fucking hell. Hey, bro, right? You have to get terrorized.
Yeah, some things are supposed to be the bottom things or whatever. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 12, 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?
By the now they've got this whole campaign. Why?
Like they got like a shotgun behind the camera. Yeah. I think guy got thrown in jail. Like one of the guys that put a video up.
Yeah. They got a lot of, you know.
That's what you wouldn't. You never think that man a Muslim.
No, you
like,
couldn't.
what are you
That's what I mean.
talking
It's
about?
crazy.
And like, oh, they're doing it for Islam. Man, I ain't not fighting for no Islam, bro. Fighting for the dollar, bro. The money.
Gold. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. All these this war of idols, right? It's gonna come to an end, like because they say you got the Jesusites, you know, which is an idol. But the Mohammedans, the Allah is an idol. None of these men are showing up. None of these men are showing up to protect nobody.
Who's that?
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
a lot of war. Christians, they pray that there is no World War III.
Yeah.
There's peace in the Middle
That's
East.
just not.
Yeah, bread's a problem.
But so y'all ain't in the bracket, y'all are not in tune with the scriptures, man. They'll pray, you know, hope pray with stuff in the wars. That's not what the scripture says. What did it say about determination? It's to gather the nation, not stop it. If you're against that, you're against the Most High, right?
What's Armageddon then?
Yeah, what's Armageddon?
Satan. Antichrist. Yeah. Okay.
So you know, need to stop there for no.
Do it now.
Got the one for the other. It says Psalms 96:4 says, "For Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens."
That's why none of these nations are gonna win. None of it is real. They're all fighting over fucking nothing. Right? That's why when it all all said and done, Yahweh is gonna come through and put these men in slavery. You know, by the Most High's will. But that's the only rule that matters. All this war of resources and shares, that's gonna come for them, man. You know, and Yahweh is gonna settle everything, establish His kingdom. Okay, which all other nations are servants to. And then the whole talking is gonna be done. none of these debates and discussions and who's God's rule and all this shit. It's gonna be Yahweh Shai and Israelite. That's it. No, enough talking. That's evident now.
Yeah, these proud heathen, they're gonna have to be building up the right to the kingdom of the Lord. Okay, they're wallowing in wickedness and shit. Proud, but that's not. Well, the Lord ain't gonna allow that to happen to be the case forever. Okay, that's BS. Okay, order is gonna be put. The earth is gonna be put in righteous order. Okay, and all these nations, they're gonna have to be slaves to building that. Okay, you ain't gonna have no choice. They're talking about, listen, man, you can scoff. Y'all go, a lot of you heathens that scoff it. All of y'all gonna be building up the kingdom. Everything we're saying, you're gonna be picking up material. Okay, okay. You're gonna be physically building that. Okay. Talk shit all you want. Pop it up. You know. It's like the son of the stranger shall build thy walls. That's some Psalm.
Separate men of continual employment.
Yeah, they say, oh, we ain't got this taking our jobs.
You won't have
jobs. We're gonna be the jobs back.
Oh, but what job you want to work?
There ain't gonna be no unfortunate.
Got no vacancies right now. It's
gonna be like, it's gonna be certainly, you know, they're gonna be, you don't get the job and everything just ticked off, you know, cut the job, you know. That's how it's gonna be.
No bad criteria. No, you could. Yeah. Right. Did it?
For now.
Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the power Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom,
that's our kingdom. Like we mentioned that during Revelation, you got the beast of 7 heads, 10 horns. After that power structure destroyed, kingdom, the righteous power structure will be established on the planet forever. Okay, we've been prophesying in the reincarnation of different kingdoms throughout history. That's what's been going on. Okay, but now we're at the end of all that, all these, you know, pagan temples and dog and human sacrifices and all this that's been going on since the start of time, basically. Okay. All of that is going to come to an end. Okay. And because there ain't going to be no, oh, I don't know if the Most High exists, so I don't really believe. You don't, the presence, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. The Lord ain't going to allow, that's going to be, he's going to show him, he's going to reveal himself. Okay.
But everything that's going to happen is going to glorify his name. Yeah. You know, the destruction of America, the glorifying of his son,
yeah,
and his children, man. You know, we're going to be part of it.
Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. Everyone's going to be shocked. The Lord, man, so like the Lord's going to have a chariot and fill the whole planet, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going to miss that.
Right.
Definitely going to be an event.
Right. Strip.
yeah, just on the point about Lord magnifying his name, right? This is Ezekiel 36 and 21. But I had pity for my holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen whither they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen whither ye went.
Yeah, and we're the ones who are proclaiming the name of the Lord. How is it that he is the Heavenly Father? This is his earth. He ain't getting no credit. Everyone's crediting themselves, or I do. Yeah, no, you didn't do shit. You didn't make yourself. You didn't design yourself.
Credit to my idol.
Right. You didn't design how you look, what height you are. You didn't have a part in that. That proves as a creator. Because how you know what I'm saying? Scriptures are very hairs of your head of numbers. There's the architecture, there's information, there's data. So here it is, and they ain't giving the creative credit. And he ain't happy about it. Okay. He's angry.
That's where your idol.
Right.
You know.
Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh. There shall no more be said, the Lord Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them.
So that's going to be spoken of forever. Everyone's going to look, wow, the Most High Yahweh, how should I destroyed America? I'm on the great. That's going to be spoken about forever, man, because America's going to be like in the Planet of the Apes and the Forbidden Zone. That's going to be America, man. A monument. We're going to have a new Passover. We're going to have a new one. A new high holiday, whatever it is, based on the destruction of America.
Greatest deliverance.
What up, Fee? It says Jeremiah 16 and 14. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so.
It's so good.
Yeah. It says, but Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I'll bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
So the Most High wants to emphasize. That's you do that again. That scripture shows the glory. The Lord's going to get the glory.
He's raised us up from being a no people. But this is the worst condition Israel's ever been in. The fact that we didn't even know who we were anymore. In the hand of our enemies, man. It was never like that before. Even in Egypt, we knew who it was. We knew who we were. But this one was completely destroyed the people. The Lord's resurrected us, man.
Jacob's so used to being destroyed. It's crazy. Edomites don't live like that. They'll be saying, oh, I didn't know you was gone through that. Like you would say, yeah, you go in the shop. And,
that normal?
But that's Jacob, like Jacob, their whole family being destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't get on sisters, your brothers, your parents might be on drugs. So the fucking all types of crazy shit. It's just as a whole, all this chaos in the house. This family stealing money from your nan. You know, also, you know what I'm saying? It's chaos going on. That's the, you know, there's no dad.
Don't know who the dad is.
The mom's cursing him out, cursing you out. I need dad out.
You don't taste like that.
You're just like, you're a victim. Going on.
Boy, yeah. Fucking out, man.
Open breathing fire. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's even emphasized greatly now, even more because of the UN voting that the slavery, transatlantic slave trade is the greatest atrocity to mankind. So this is setting it up. You know, the Heavenly Father setting it up whereby, you know, it's highlighting that trade, you know, that triangle trade that happened with these people in the crosshairs, you know, Jake dealing with Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. They're the people that suffer the most. So it's being highlighted. So now that it's on the front,
pivotal prophecy.
there you
There's
go.
no way it's not being mentioned about us.
It says we don't speak the Deuteronomy. The curses.
Yeah.
Curses.
And the fact that we went on, you know, into Egypt again with ships, that was a key prophecy, man, for us to identify us. Now it's been recognized that was the worst, you know, crime that's ever happened.
And this is what El mentioned of that Volker. That's how you know there's an agent. And everything that's pivotal in the scriptures, he's trying to tear down.
He doesn't want us to be those people.
Yeah, he's working on it. But fucking they don't want us. They don't want that out there like that. Yeah. The curses. He's always trying to get on the curses, right? Yeah. But the curses, that's powerful. That shows you the tribes are. It's a sign. The tribes, like you're saying, first of all, man, tribes, according to the scriptures, wouldn't even know what they are. Okay? That's prophecy, Ezekiel 37 and all that, different ones. Okay? All of that. So the tribes wouldn't even, that's a curse. So what we're talking about here, it's more like to run around like, oh, he's not claiming. Okay, but you ain't fulfilling prophecy then. Oh boy.
There was only 3 nations that voted against it: America, small hats, and Argentina. Which I think there's a lot of small hats in Argentina.
Argentina, man.
Yeah.
Like that's racist.
Yep.
Yeah. So
okay, you got the indigenous population there. They're in the corner somewhere.
Catching out.
Got something? Got this if I can. It says Daniel 9:12 says, and he had confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been dealt as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Yes. That's a fact. Yeah. But everything we're saying, and this is the Most High's movie. That's why he's got it all in the public eye. You can't avoid the Most High's. He's script. Like like the average folk now, like you push it in the corner and it ain't going. That's not how things work. Yeah. Just because you feel you can do that, it's beyond you. Okay. The Most High's got all these things, all these uncomfortable stuff, all the lies, everything, the tabs, right? Now it's the tabs.
It's the whole tabs. Keep coming out
Yeah, but I thought that was no. That's very right. You're browsing history.
That's even like with the island they're using to bomb Iran. They say well, I don't know if it was Jake over there, but they said
Chagos.
they're saying that there was a genocide committed on the island, like mass genocide, and they basically said he's gonna give it back to them. And Trump was saying, why are you gonna take it? He wants to keep it.
There's a strategic.
But that shows you, they're trying to, tells you in the book of Job, what's that?
Speak to people.
Yeah, like I said, well, really, they're trying to clean up their image. They're trying to make themselves out to be those white people that they always said they are. Doing that. But the reality of the situation is you got a blood debt. Like there's
that's why they keep on mentioning like the slavery thing. They try and brush it under the rug.
Yeah.
What blacks did it. We didn't really. The English didn't really. We were involved in.
Not how you lot done it.
Slavery. That's what they're saying right now. All these yell to boys and people like that. Yeah. That's what they try and push.
It's night and day.
They try and but you can't let them say the tabs. You can't. Like you said, they're trying to paint this pure white. Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
Right, and all this England were involved bullshit. Because someone said that some politician recently or some shit. That's kind of backing them people.
One of the biggest beneficiaries.
Exactly.
Well, companies, the bonds.
Yeah. All over England, all of these shires, right? All of the shires. You got the ports and the major, but even just the shires, yeah. All of these shires, all over the country, all of these places had slave masters that were living there, that were getting money sent straight from the slave trade, rich. All these shires, all these lords and that all over the country, all of them, slave masters, all in mainly the Caribbean, like the Caribbean. So it's growth for that. Benjamin over here, slave owners were here. Yeah. Okay. They don't have their surnames, man. Came there for Booth and all that. We've got slave master names and shit. Yeah.
Who said?
Huh?
Psalms 109, verse 13. Let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord. And let
I wonder if you can act like you ain't involved. Okay. What's all that about, man? When you think like, but that shows you the hate. When it comes to slavery, everyone's like, come on.
But the whole European nation, they abstained from the vote. They didn't want to vote at all. You know, which basically they don't agree in it. Obviously, it's the same thing in it. But the whole European Union didn't want to vote on that.
When Jake's complain and start going, oh, you don't have that shit. I don't start doing that. And all that. It's like they hate Jake so much that you ain't even got the right to complain.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can do anything now. You can do anything.
You wear Nike
You
now.
see, always there.
Yeah. Like, bro, it's like, sorry, you still got the good,
man.
you still got the riches.
And if they do have someone debate them, it's orchestrated. Like they control the, you know, they get someone dumb enough to kind of say, "Oh, well, you know, we did have slaves in Africa. So maybe you have a point." It's like, bro, you're placating to their whole agenda.
Yeah.
Especially with TV. I remember growing up watching TV, you'd have certain things you watch that like very tender things to talk about and then control the narrative. But now with the internet, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Can't do that.
the hypocrisy of it is like these small hats. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
You can't deny it, bro. And you have to respect it. Otherwise, you know, you're getting called all kinds of things, isn't it? As you know, right? But you're meant to, you're being forced to remember that for them, and them are paying or getting reparations from Germany. But Nazi Germany don't exist no more. So what's that got to do with Germany today? You're talking about, oh, that's in the past and all this sort of business. Yeah, it's got nothing. It's not got nothing to do with that. It's just that they hate us. That's what it's down to.
And they try and make it seem like this was such a long time ago, but it's like Jake was that our grandparents were of that generation, you
There
know.
was still Jake's getting hung.
Yeah, like over 400 years, man.
Exactly.
Generation.
We're just like, yeah, we're saying,
Whole generation.
when it's, yeah. When a year's a year feels long.
But you want us to cry for the small hats that supposedly got persecuted for a few years
Right.
in the middle of war.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And you're right to do so and look back was back then and all that.
But it's like
It was just this, just then, and it was going on for a long time.
Christmas was just then. Like, when your Christmas that you celebrate, the Lord being, we're coming into so-called Easter. The Lord was born in those bunnies and all that. That was just a couple years ago, but you still remember it. That's even further back than slavery. You remember it. Lord was born year 2000, AD. You remember that and you celebrate it every year, according to your knowledge. But couple hundred years ago, you were beating us black and blue, skinning us, wearing us as a fucking trousers, and then selling, what do you call it? Fucking jarring man's penis, fucking, and in like the things you've not done. This is why you don't want us to know these things, because it really makes you out to be a real creepy ass cracker, man.
But this is Esau enjoys mocking us, right, and making our plight look like it was nothing, really, right? Because he'll celebrate days that, like, Thanksgiving Day, about the Gadites and stuff, man. He celebrates that. It's a mockery, bro. He likes to mock us, man, because we've got no power to do nothing about it. Or we ain't gonna do shit basically because niggas ain't doing shit. And this is why, like, there was a positive. Like, we don't give a fuck about your money. We don't even fucking want that.
I think they were saying picnics, supposed to picnic. So like you're saying, there's a lot of celebrating. There's a lot of stuff here today that's got roots from. Well, everything rooted. Everything is the whole culture. Everything is rooted from slavery. So it ain't it's happening now. Basically damaged Negroes walking around, being called niggas still. Right? Right, it's still got called a nigger. Oh shit. We ain't got nowhere, man.
Yeah, right, man. I'm pretending like racism's over or something, like, bro.
Even on Billy Jr., they call out on pitch and then they told him to get on and play.
That's
That
that
guy
hate.
gets it the worst, so I ain't gonna lie that Vinny, because they know they get see.
Scriptures tell Esau hates Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay, scriptures tell you that. That's what all this is about. Yep. Jacob versus Esau. All right, we told you that. It came out the Rothschild secret. Well, they know they're Edomites. To come out with the document. All right. So they're saying that we're Jacob. They know who we are. They know that. That's why they got that hate.
It's a real devil.
You know what I'm
One
saying?
of them's called Jacob Rothschild. Jacob. Nice to meet you. He's fine. I'm Esau.
Therefore, you fleet. You're right. Really, you're the Israelite. You're Jacob. We call you fleet.
But again, on the name thing, that's why it's important for them to take away our names and stuff like that. Because then we lose identity. You know, we call ourselves fucking Rick and Thomas and shit. Like, what the fuck does that mean to us, really? If we had our old Hebrew names, then obviously we're Hebrews, right? We had something to connect to. It was important for them to strip that away from us, man. You know? Then they go and claim those names for themselves and shit. You know? Very good, saying? Yeah.
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
And this is what scares them, because they know what they've done. And they know, really, if justice was to be served, then they need to go through the same thing. And that's a nightmare for the so-called white man, for Esau. But in their mind, it's like, well, how's that ever going to happen? These niggas are so through. How's that ever going to happen? But then when they hear us talk about these things with Yahushai, it's like they hope that's not the case. Because once Yahushai comes, man, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're done, and you're going to get the worst ass kicking you've ever fucking dreamt of. You know what I mean? Like, because we're not going to be nice to you. And you know we're not going to be nice to you, man. And you can't blame us, really. I know you want to, but you can't. We're going to make sure those 1,000 years that you're underneath us, man, is fucking as unpleasant as fuck, man. You know?
We're going to be on a timer and the days are going to be like,
yeah.
It's going to be a cut off. 99 more days.
We're going to make you feel all that pain.
Go in.
Like everyone knows, like we're service-based economies, and like part of that is insurance. Like for example, like Lloyd's Bank, it's like the biggest. So they started
Lloyd's of London.
Lloyd's of London.
Different.
Lloyd's of London, where like 2/3 of all the insurances back then, going back to the 18th century, was off the slave trade. And it's still 2026. Insurance is one of the biggest cream makers for the UK to this day. The man was still turning around and say, "No, but it's not
Yeah.
benefit from slavery."
Yeah. Lloyd's of London is still insuring ships to this day. You know, and with the whole Strait of Hormuz thing, it's like Iran doesn't actually have to mine the Strait of Hormuz. They just have to make it, which is what they did, which they just had to make it in basically insurance, not insure any of the ships, which is what Lloyd's of London, and they're like, we insure these ships, you know.
You know, and that as well. Them slave master companies, they've already just stopped getting paid out, really. Yeah. You know, so they pay reparations to these man. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Jake, fuck Jake.
And when it comes to Jake and their company as well, they're like, "Oh, we don't understand why we can't get a Jake to get to a senior position." It's just, it's like we have to do. We've got all the DNI programs, but you can't go faster than shit.
And this is why in the kingdom you're not going to get no mercy, man.
That's
like
it.
you really ain't. You showed us
them
none.
who had no mercy.
Yeah, you showed us none.
And like you said, they hate fuck Jake. That's what they
Yeah,
do.
fuck Jake.
They hate Jake.
So whenever Jake get into them circles, they always say, "Oh, they're so racist." You talk to any of them Jake, they get up in those circles. So these guys are so racist, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it a surprise?
It says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness,
and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Simon Cameron Park.
310.
So this is Ezekiel 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred against Slakia, because thou had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end.
Right, your hatred has never stopped. It's from the womb. It hasn't stopped. So as at the time when you came over to the west coast of Africa to slay us, man, we wasn't troubling you. We was minding our own business, man. But you thought it was your you needed to come and find us and put us into slavery, bro. You have that hatred so much that you have to come and search us out and torment us. And Obadiah tells you shouldn't have done these things, man, pretty much. But you've always done this against us. When the opportunity came, you was there among our enemies, causing us trouble. Right? So the whole point is that we are the Lord's chosen people. And you shouldn't be touching the Lord's anointed. Right? But you, like I said, you know this and you still went and did it anyway. That's why you're fucking an idiot. You're the precept on that.
Yeah, real quick. Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof.
Right? So every opportunity you had, you kind of exploited basically to try and do damage to us, to hurt us some type of way or other. Because you ain't got the blessing. That's what it boils down to. You ain't got the blessing. But the Most High never chose you, ever. Not even for 1 millisecond.
They even burnt down the temple as well.
Yeah. That's what I said.
That's a whole lot, man. The Heavenly Father's holy temple, man, where he placed his feet, he burned it down.
So you ain't got no fear of the Heavenly Father and what he would do. You know, so your time's coming, man. You know?
The half of Titus, even after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they we're a focal point for their hatred.
They just hate you.
Yeah. About them, what's it? Antagonist. Without the antagonist, the protagonist is basically sorry. Without the protagonist, the antagonist is just basically like, you know, I have nothing to live for. That's why Jake, they little, you know, Esau lie these devils. They'll act like they're not into Jake culture, but they love Jake, love Jake music, Jake dance, everything. That's why the moment they get a chance, they take over jazz. The moment they get a chance to take over rock and roll. Any little thing that Jake makes, oh, they're gonna control them monkeys dancing around, and they're, you know, in their suits, and then next thing you turn around, they're wearing boot suits. Yeah. My brother, you know, they showed you that in what's this movie? The horror movie.
Sinners?
Not Sinners. Older one. With the teacup. Get out.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to get our blessing, man.
What's the African American equivalent to say that?
They're jealous, man.
Yeah.
You know, they're jealous.
It feels the hatred.
Okay. Yeah. The haters.
So it says that the envy having them.
Yeah. The haters, the jealous, the envious, all of that. So, and they run around saying they're the people, but they know they're not, because everything that they do behind the scenes, the Rothschilds and then Rockefellers, all these people, they're worshiping these other gods. So that's just a.
Well, they set up a secular state.
They use that identity. They're using that for political agendas.
Yeah.
And they grieve.
Yeah. So they can get protected. Look, where the people, Bible, we've been attacked. You know what I mean? And political, it's all agendas. Okay? To gain lands, for domination, world domination, different things. So they know behind the scenes, they've got these big fucking statues built to Mercury. Okay? They're drinking blood, they're eating babies. Come on, man. Give me a break. Okay? Mr. Burton, man. All right. That's why the land over there's got to get new, right? What the hell's going on in the land today? All right. If defiled, the scripture says in the land of uprightness, what they'll do unjustly. So who's over there? Satan is in the land right now. right? Doing unjustly. You don't even want to know what they're getting up to. But it's over there. Okay. Because you know that Steen, which he ain't there, but he could be in that land. Okay.
Because they say a lot of people that do that to children, they move over to Israel, you know, because they get protected over there.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson was reading that, isn't it? I think I'm correct.
Right.
He was talking to the US embassy to Israel or something like that. Like, I was coming into Israel being protected. Yeah. Onto the family.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
So he didn't fear the children of the Lord. Right? But like I mentioned, God said not to touch his anointed, man. Right? David knew that. When it was him in Saul, he didn't put his hands on the Saul. Even though he knew he was going off. You know, because he's the Lord's anointed.
Esau's got history of faith, Jake.
Yeah.
All throughout time. So that's the spirits that we're dealing with here. Gonna get judged for slavery. Even when we come out of Egypt, they didn't want to let us through. Something wrong with them. Burn temples, eat Jakes. This is real. They use the demons, man. I didn't believe. I thought it was all conspiracy. It's all come out. Go into like these country towns in England. I'm not talking about you. Some Catholic Jakes, some Irish descent. But we're not talking about. Go in the countryside. There's some real creepy villages out here.
Yeah.
It's spooky, isn't it?
Wicker Man.
That's what right there. This is real, man.
Yeah.
You can feel it in the air.
They show you that in
When
Hot Fuzz.
they start doing that stupid, that lip movement, like, and they'll stare at you because they got power out there. Okay, and that the movie Get Out you mentioned that shows you that.
Like a hamlet, equivalent of a small town, village kind of thing.
So they show you that in Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz, that because it was all about going into one of these creepy old English towns, and basically everyone was a witch.
Used to have meetings as well.
Yeah.
That was a sweet army.
Oh man. And we
Based on another fashion, isn't it? You know?
That's why Harry Potter is such a big thing. Like that thing, like Merlin,
Yes, that's Harry Potter is big.
Yeah.
Dumbass Americans with the Crick of England, they think of Harry Potter. They wanna
Go King's Cross, bro. There's homeless men outside King's Cross, bro.
Yeah.
Go King's Cross after when the night lights come. You see the witches then. It's some real pharmakia right there. Some crackheads, man. Keep that.
Yeah, that Harry Potter. Yeah, it's witchcraft. Okay.
They got a new
And that J.K. Rowling. This is from that is just I think she lived up there. That's what it was. Which is She's cursing out the elites, whatever, but you can see she's a warlock. That's what they got that look. And the Edomites into hunting in the countryside. Country. And it came out in the fight, man. You don't know. Apparently, that they're calling Jakes.
It's a spirit. Literally, there's a video that just popped up here that says, do the elites really hunt people? Literally just 10, 20, 30 seconds ago.
Okay. Video with the,
Oh, I missed the thing. I just saw the title.
but that's what they were. Well, that's basically it. So they say that Sandringham Castle. I can't remember that one is. Trying to look it up on the phone. The fucking signal shit. You know, that certain phone carrier. Some of them sit in certain areas. Like, I was like, I'm trying to block Google back to look at it.
On the pole, like.
But that's what apparently the big roles at Sandringham Castle.
And don't think that, and that might sound wild to some of you people out there, man. But just you think about what he was doing during slavery.
That's what I got to say.
You know what I'm saying? It's not unusual.
Django, man.
I mean, that's not wild. I mean, wild that there's that.
And these men are all about traditions, right? You know, we used to do that back then, so we could do it now. Fox hunting and shit. Like, so don't be surprised if that's going on because them men do that. There's bare people go missing all that fucking time. Like no family, no one cares about that kind of thing. They just get snapped up.
See them missing posters or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, be from like 2016. I'm like, bro, that guy is gone. What the hell is that still up?
It's like 30 now. God.
Be like 10 years ago, and you're just like, bro, it's like, who even knows? You might have the parents still trying to find something, but then otherwise, no one, like the police ain't looking, no one's looking.
Because we had the Queen, right? And it was a, they used to, I don't know if it was what it was,
Her birthday.
it was a birthday or something like
Then
that.
the blacks came out.
Right, that was
Yeah,
parade.
Not reacted at all.
Right, not reacted to the Jake parade, these fucking Caribbean booty shaking, whatever. Well, I don't think they were doing that. I don't know what they would,
They'll do something.
they do something
Something
like,
doing that thing,
right, some dancing and and it's
You got up in the chest, you're like, oh,
That one never made it home that night.
laughing at him, man. You could see
bro, crazy. I wish we recorded that. I remember seeing it. It was just like, it was on to, I was like, fucking hell, bro. Reacted to that after reacting to that. And they're like, Solomon, man. You know, Solomon said it when he had his brain, he collected peculiar treasures. So that's the E in his little, I want that one. Peculiar treasures. Even that, because I just see Sandra Bullock's got like 2 youths that like Jake in it. You see, they collect like these different actors and actresses. They'll adopt different Jakes and all that type of stuff. Because they just feel like love having them. Make a baby, that's how they look at things. It's just they can do anything they want in this
Well,
world.
it's the same way. Jake with pets. To the children, they'll get the black child for their daughter. Yeah, it's the same shit, man. Bro's got anything?
Amos chapter 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because
the
he
Lord ain't going to turn away the punishment. That's part of the practice as well. Okay, you think, oh, there's nothing's racial, everything's racial. Lineages, people get judged by lineages. Okay? That's just the truth. Lineages are coming back. On this melting pot of confusion, people not knowing who they are. That's he that does that. There's a lot of lands and stuff. The names have been changed. For all of them.
There's a clip Donald Trump talking about Boss, saying he fought one politician with Boss, and they basically, I believe it means white Anglo-Saxon person. So all those people, so that's like hierarchy within their elite. If you're like British and not Scottish, because some
the guy tried to say Scottish as well, not Irish, but Scottish and Irish are the same thing. But if you're like English, French, I don't know if Spain fell into it. It's like certain specific nations, they're depicted. In America, they're known as wasps. So within their society, they have a hierarchy where they look, oh, that's a wasp. You know, that's like a, you know, because he was saying, oh, I thought this guy was a wasp, but it turns out this guy's a fucking like an Italian. You know, like he's shit. So it's like you have people over there, obviously they're going under the guise of being a white Anglo-Saxon person to mix in the elite of that society.
Yeah.
That goes into what you're saying. Like there's a everything's divine, the lines, there's lines, racial lines. And you can't be in their circle if you're not of that lineage. That's why the Eastern Europeans, like, they're not with them. They don't look at them the same. They're on a train at 5-4 in the morning, the same with so-called blacks and, you know, all the colored people of the earth. So they regarded the same as the elite of the society.
Right. Yeah, and the crown and them, they don't, you never hear English speaking of the Irish, man. They don't, you never, you know what I mean? They might, on St. Patrick's Day, they act like they're down and going pub. But they don't really like Irish, man. Okay, because, you know, Irish are jakes, and they're known for being mouthy and the boys are rebellious and all that. You know, there's that English, the crown beef with the Irish, but the Irish are always, you know, talking up against the oppression, you know, so they don't like that. Keep it quiet. So that's good. All right. You got curious Irish, they might try and identify with them. Sometimes they want to have like these quirky ass people want to act like they're in tune with the other ethnic things or whatever. Trendy. Yeah. I got an Irish friend. Oh, I got an Irish. Bullshit, man. You ain't really ready to have those. Are you ready to have them real conversations? Okay. You ain't? Like slavery? That's the real conversation.
Think with them in the bars even, man. No Irish,
no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. Yeah, it weren't no Perkies and Irish. Y'all ain't like, don't try and change the history. Okay? There was one Irish person and it was with some Perkies. Then kind of came over talking. And all that come up, they were talking about the same. Jake, they always listen to Jake stuff to Irish. And so started having, and then all that started coming up, and the Quakers didn't know what to do. You know, they actually now they weren't involved in it.
They were on the wrong side.
They're on the wrong side. They ain't got, you know what I'm saying?
Terrible. My parents had that happen to them too.
But the Quakers, their parents was the ones to get whipping the States.
But then that's even other thing, because you had these documentaries come out where they show you. I saw like they had all the Jake children in Montserrat that were like the Irish that came over to Montserrat and they had an Irish accent and Oliver Cromwell and all that. Like there's a big, you know, history, and that's why they don't accept the Irish, because they know that they have black blood, as you call it, but it's Israelite blood.
Well, again, history that they don't tell. They don't bother to go into none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because they don't really want to talk about it. They don't want to let you know about what's going on and that stuff.
Yeah, the Irish, it's, you just know, everyone knows that there's just something about that's that history. They're just not English. They're not the same. You know what I'm saying? Anytime the Irish, they're going to start talking about the oppression that they went through. You know what I'm saying? And they're not the conversations that, you know, that they want to be having. Man, them Irish, they always be talking about Cromwell, about slavery, about Palestine. They don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the crown. When they're on that, they're just always talking about that. You know what I'm saying? That's because they're Jakes, man.
We even have that native statue that they have. I think it's in Ireland, and then like the natives and the Irish, they've got, because it was, I think, during the famine, the natives basically raised some funds. Native Americans raised some funds to help the Irish, so there was always like a bit of love between the two, you know.
This is Deuteronomy 7. Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. So it doesn't matter whatever nation, mainly applying to Jake, but Jake got scattered as well, you know. But the elder would say no blacks, no Irish, you know, all into the same word, man. You know, look down upon all different names in society.
It doesn't matter where and what we was. He was always the downcast of the people. They always had a different name for us. And this, you know, no matter where he was, to know that we were lower, you know, or disregarded or whatever. You know, no matter where he was.
That's why the scripture says that there shall be deliverance from the four corners of the earth. You know? Jake's are scattered on the four corners, different lands, all over the world. You know? See as well.
Deuteronomy 28:64. Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods.
Yeah, so Jacob, all the nations got Jake's tidings. Same deal. They're all gonna get beamed off, you know. Sheep shall be gathered. Well, you know, gather the sheep. You got the wheat and you got the tares. So all the Jakes, they're gonna be gathered up out of these kingdoms.
It says, which serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Yeah, the ones that don't repent, they can right next to them fucking idols. Yeah.
Jesus Christ is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Major idol. That's a major idol. Man. It's got all them tribes. Oh, you can
Man, close up. That we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory. How? Double honors unto the